100 years ago, when spirit energy was revived, it became the most fundamental source of power in this world. Creatures enhanced by this spirit energy evolved in two different directions. One path returned to the primal instincts of their ancestors, unleashing immense physical power. The other path developed psychic mutations, specializing in energy-based attacks. Among humans, influenced by this energy, countless spirit professions emerged one after another. The phone screen displayed the words, Spirit Beast Observer, 37 million followers. Tap to see profession details. Tap to see aptitude requirements. Next up was Spirit Material Analyst, 69 million followers. Tap to see profession details. Tap to see aptitude requirements. A finger paused as it scrolled across the screen, carefully examining the information. What should you do if bitten by a ghost shadow thorn fur beast? As a spirit energy professional, you can't be without a worthy spirit creature. Buy now for only 999,998 and get a chance to win an ultimate treasure. Join now. But for me, Lin Yuan thought to himself, all of this is useless. He muttered, don't panic. Drink plenty of warm water, lie down in a well-ventilated area, and try to avoid letting the corpse start to stink. Just then, a trembling cat paw rose into the air, accompanied by a panting voice. So hot, Lin Yuan, it's so hot. The beast, who called himself Clever, was a 100-question beast. It nimbly climbed onto its master's head. Lin Yuan was surprised. Clever, what are you doing? The beast replied sluggishly. I heard it's cooler up high. Hearing this, he frowned in annoyance. It's barely any higher. Clever jumped up and slid the door to the side. It stood right by the window to catch the breeze, nagging at the same time. There's a breeze now. There's a breeze. Don't forget to take your medicine. Lin Yuan nodded. I know. The sound of the door closing echoed sharply. Holding a broom and dustpan, he introduced himself. My name is Lin Yuan, 18 years old, and the owner of a tiny spirit creature shop. Although humans can use spirit energy to accelerate a creature's growth, for me, that's as distant as a passing cloud. I've had a weak constitution since I was a child, and at the age of 12, I completely lost my ability to sense spirit energy. I can't strengthen my body like a normal person, much less form a contract with a high-level spirit creature. He looked down, staring intently at a small potted plant. Lin Yuan let out a soft sigh. Just using a cloth for shade isn't enough. In this heat, there's no good way to cool it down. Clever popped up from somewhere to comment. It's about to dry up completely. That potted plant was a species of lily, of common grade and common quality, a low-tier spirit creature. Lin Yuan used his hand to block some of the sun, sympathizing. Poor thing. It's a low-level healing-type spirit plant with pathetic competitive strength. It's even worse than the green vine fodder used for livestock. He picked up the pot, calculating in his head. In this world, after the revival of spirit energy, all spirit creatures are divided by grade and quality. Anything below bronze rank is considered low tier. Almost no one is willing to spend resources raising low-tier spirit creatures. That's because, by comparison, high-level spirit creatures evolve much more easily than low-tier ones. In the past 100 years, no one has ever heard of a 100-question beast evolving. Just then, the chirping of a bird echoed from the sky. Lin Yuan, here's your medicine. The little bird was named Chirp Chirp, a sound bird. Seeing it, Lin Yuan smiled gently. Chirp Chirp, thank you for your hard work. After speaking, he fell into deep thought. Just like this body of mine, I can only form contracts with Clever and Chirp Chirp. Just dealing with the lowest tier ones has been a headache for half a month, let alone sensing spirit energy to train them to evolve and mature. An hour later, both Lin Yuan and Clever were sitting listlessly in front of the plant stall. The beast sighed and asked, do humans really like to sleep in? Why is the street so empty? He frowned in frustration. What nonsense are you talking about? Lin Yuan decided to shout out, come take a look, everyone. We have some exceptionally well-grown green radishes today. A little girl turned her head upon hearing his voice. The girl's eyes widened in surprise. Mommy, look, that 100-question beast looks just like our Kaka. Clever grinned from ear to ear and called out, welcome, welcome. Would you like to buy some green radishes? The calico cat in the little girl's arms glanced at Clever, its voice dripping with sarcasm. This 100-question beast's fur is so dry and scraggly. You can tell it's a piece of trash just by looking at it. How can it possibly compare to me? Clever's fur stood on end as it growled in frustration. What do you mean, trash? I'm clearly a 100-question beast. If you've got the guts, let's settle this with rock, paper, scissors. Seeing the tense atmosphere, Lin Yuan quickly rushed over and scooped it into his arms, comforting it. Don't be angry. Don't be angry. How can you guys play rock, paper, scissors with paws like that? Let me take you out for some fresh air to cool off. Clever pouted and asked, is it okay to leave the shop unattended? While pulling the door shut, he replied, it's fine. It's not like we're selling anything anyway. The beast struggled playfully behind him, whining, Lin Yuan, go buy some meat. A few more bites of braised pork and I'll definitely get smarter. That way, I definitely won't lose again. Lin Yuan gave Clever a helpless look, not daring to make any promises. A moment later, he and his two spirit beasts were strolling along the deserted street. Chirp Chirp flew above Clever's head, earnestly consoling it. Clever, don't be sad. Even if you're not as smart as other 100-question beasts, at least you're cheap. The little beast's face crumpled as tears streamed down. Wah, saying that just makes me feel worse. Walking behind them, Lin Yuan let out a heavy sigh. If only I could sense spirit energy. Suddenly, Clever shrieked. Lin Yuan, look to your left, quick. He whipped his head around, his heart filled with shock. An armored boar? What's it doing near the park? Could something have happened at the breeding farm? Just then, Clever charged forward. It lunged forward with a greedy look on its face. 50 meals of wild braised pork. Lin Yuan frantically grabbed it and scolded it. Are you trying to get yourself killed just to eat? Tongming, you can't beat it. The armored shield pig glared and roared. He thought to himself, this is terrifying. It's angry now. The armored shield pig is supposed to be an extremely gentle spirit beast. Logically, Tongming's actions shouldn't have been enough to provoke it. Everything happened so fast, Lin Yuan didn't have time to think. The armored shield pig charged straight at him. Lin Yuan held Tongming and ran, panting heavily. So tired. Today is even more exhausting than yesterday. Cradled in his arms, Tongming asked worriedly, Lin Yuan, are you okay? Suddenly, Lin Yuan slipped and fell forward, causing Tongming to shriek in terror. Yin Yin resolutely cried out, Lin Yuan, I'll protect you. Tongming also fluffed up its fur and yelled, come at me, you delicious braised pork. Lin Yuan struggled to hold back his two small spirit beasts. No, we can't fight yet. You guys have to run. Suddenly, a strange sensation washed over him, making him look up with wide eyes. Where is this place? A voice suddenly called out in Lin Yuan's ear. Lin Yuan glanced over, thinking to himself, this bronze bracelet, could it be the one I lost when I was 8? It disappeared after it touched my blood. A small light flashed on Lin Yuan's wrist. He raised his hand high, letting the golden bracelet shine all over his body. Lin Yuan gradually realized he could feel it again. It had returned. The spiritual energy he hadn't felt since he was 8 years old was back. Lin Yuan struggled to his feet. The golden bracelet from before was now on his wrist. Tongming was being chased by the armored shield pig. Seeing that he was okay, it cheered. Lin Yuan, you're awake. Yin Yin flew high above, closing its eyes and pleading, hurry up and think of something. The armored shield pig lunged towards Tongming, terrifying it. It's no use. Even with this little bit of spiritual energy, I can't do anything in time. Just then, the bracelet on Lin Yuan's wrist glowed brightly, and his eyes sharpened. A brief introduction of the charging armored shield pig appeared. Spirit beast name: Armored shield pig. Species: Armored shield spirit beast. Level: Level 3. Spirit beast, common grade. Spirit beast type: defensive. Quality: common. Lin Yuan's heart leaped. I can see it clearly. The information is so detailed. A level 3? And Tongming isn't even level 1 yet. With that thought, he yelled, get out of the way, Tongming. It's attacking from the right. Just as the armored shield pig charged, Tongming listened to Lin Yuan and managed to dodge in time. It cried out in fear. Lin Yuan clenched his jaw, his mind in turmoil. This is bad. Even though it dodged the charge, the power gap is just too big. You need overwhelming power if you're going to be my contracted spirit beast. At that moment, Yin Yin shrieked from above. Don't you dare hurt Tongming. The light from Yin Yin's body merged with the glow from the bracelet, leaving Lin Yuan completely stunned. The lights were identical. The two resonating beams of light caused the armored shield pig to freeze up in pain, unable to move. A realization hit Lin Yuan. Could it be? Are they about to evolve thanks to the power of this bracelet? A moment later, the armored shield pig roared in fury again. The echo made both Yin Yin and Tongming tremble. Tongming squealed. Yin Yin, its throat is way bigger than yours. A look of determination flashed in Lin Yuan's eyes. This won't work. Even if they're on the verge of evolution, the gap between level 1 and level 3 is still a massive abyss. This pig's weakness. The armored shield pig kept charging, forcing Tongming to admit, meow, this scary braised pork is terrifyingly strong. Yin Yin cried out in a panic. Lin Yuan, what do we do? Just then, Lin Yuan shouted, Yin Yin, quick, Sing to get its attention. Any notes will do, as long as it's loud. It quickly replied, okay, I'll try. Do, re, mi, m. Yin Yin's broken notes threw the armored shield pig into chaos. Lin Yuan quickly covered his ears, thinking helplessly, good thing I've already endured more than 4 of its practice sessions before this. The armored shield pig whipped around, glaring angrily at Yin Yin. Yin Yin flapped its wings erratically as it cried out, so, am I doing this to give Tongming a little break? Lin Yuan commanded in a low voice. Yin Yin, turn around and attack its eyes. If we can blind it, we can stop it. Yin Yin regained its composure, spread its wings, and replied, all right, watch me. Strange. I can't use that skill from before anymore. Lin Yuan gritted his teeth and slammed his hand on the ground, cursing inwardly. Damn it. My spiritual power ran out at the worst possible time. I'm begging you, just hold on a little longer. As soon as he finished, Yin Yin was stunned. Huh? I feel like I have energy again. Watch. Watch. Watch this. It flapped its wings repeatedly, sending feathers flying everywhere, hitting the armored shield pig's eyes. Seizing the opportunity, Lin Yuan shouted, now's your chance, Tongming, attack. It nimbly leaped over the small feathers. Tongming sprang forward, saying, don't worry, Lin Yuan, I'm Tongming. Of course I'm going to attack. Both Yin Yin and Tongming shouted in unison, its nose! With that, Tongming lunged forward and unleashed a flurry of scratches on the armored shield pig's face. As it stumbled back, Tongming darted in another direction. It spun around to look at Lin Yuan and asked, Lin Yuan, we won, right? He replied, trembling. We won. You guys are amazing. You beat it so badly it ran for its life. As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Yuan collapsed. Yin Yin and Tongming cried out his name in panic, Lin Yuan. After being beaten, the armored shield pig scrambled away in a hurry. But then, its hooves screeched to a halt. Uncle Li, stroking a rabbit in his arms, said in a cold voice, I knew something felt off around here lately. Why is there an armored shield pig here? Suddenly, Auntie Zhang's eyes widened as she stared in surprise at a feather stuck to the armored shield pig. She said, that feather belongs to little Yuan's kid. Old Li, I'm leaving this to you. I'm going to find little Yuan first. Here, Uncle Li agreed. Go on, sorry to trouble you. The scene changed. Lin Yuan's eyes shot open. Looking around, he thought, this place again. He didn't know how long it had been since he first dreamed of this space. Looking at the giant golden ring floating before him, he smiled faintly. It's a bit late, but I still have to thank you for sharing your spiritual energy in that moment of crisis. The light from the ring grew brighter, as if responding to Lin Yuan. He glanced around, estimating, this place is about 40 to 50 square meters. Could this be the space inside the spirit item? Lin Yuan looked down and asked the ring, is this your ability, Mobius? A system window appeared with important information. Spirit item name, Mobius. Spirit item type, Mobius. Spirit item level, level 1. Grade, common. Spirit item quality, common. Spirit item type, space, mysterious. Skills, true data, data conversion. All complex information that the naked eye cannot decipher can be contained within the data, revealing truths unseen on the surface. Composure, a passive skill. Its effect can be enhanced as the spirit item's level increases. Composure can calm the mind and has a certain chance to grant immunity to negative statuses. Lin Yuan pondered. I've seen this true data skill before. And isn't composure the skill that helped Yin Yin practice her singing? Wait, there's also an exclusive trait, which usually only bronze tier items have. A common grade item already possesses an exclusive trait. Could you be a legendary, extremely rare item, or some kind of illusion? Lin Yuan stared at the system text for the exclusive trait. 1. Spirit Lock. The Mobius space can nurture spirit creatures. 2. The initial level of a creature nurtured in Mobius cannot exceed Mobius's level. 3. Mobius does not level up on its own. Its level increases when the spirit creature inside levels up. It also inherits the initial skill of that spirit creature, but Mobius itself will not gain any new skills. 4. Each time Mobius advances a tier, the number of spirit creatures it can nurture increases by 1. The leveling method remains the same. Reading this, Lin Yuan suddenly froze. Wait. Does this mean I can only contract a level 1 common grade spirit beast right now? And to level up Mobius, I have to train them to level 10. Raising low-tier spirit beasts already consumes an insane amount of resources. Even the wealthiest person would go broke in an instant, let alone a dirt-poor guy like me. He shook his head violently and told himself, well, it's better than nothing. At least I can sense spiritual energy now. Who knows? Maybe my future will change. Suddenly, a familiar voice rang out. Didn't the doctor say it was just mental stimulation, a mild case of exhaustion? Why hasn't he woken up after almost half a day? Asterisk. Tap, tap, tap. Asterisk. Lin Yuan frowned, recognizing the voice of his neighbor, Auntie Zhang. Looks like it's time to get out. As soon as he opened his eyes, 2 warm balls of fur pressed against his face. Tong Ming chirped at Lin Yuan. He sat up, forcing a smile as he patted its head. I'm fine. Were you so worried you started stuttering? Auntie Zhang let out a sigh of relief. You're finally awake. The kind-looking doctor smiled. Your auntie was very worried. Let me just check on you again to be sure. Lin Yuan politely shook his head. There's no need. Auntie Zhang frowned. Xiao Yuan, you've been unconscious for almost 10 hours. If you're sick, you need to get treated. Don't let something small become serious. Hearing this, Lin Yuan had no choice but to lie back down. Yes, Auntie Zhang. In his mind, he thought, even though Uncle Li and Auntie Zhang take care of me and the 2 little ones, it's better to keep the matter of my contract with Mobius a secret. Suddenly, a fish swam past his line of sight, and the system immediately displayed its information. Spirit creature name, blue scale carp. Species, carp family. Genus, carp. Level, 4, elite. Type, water. Quality, elite. Skills, tail, wag, leap, tail, whip. Blue scales help recover from mental wounds and soothe abnormal statuses. Lin Yuan marveled internally. As expected of an elite, its skills are truly rare. After finishing the checkup, the doctor turned around. He's fine. I'll be heading home now. My wife is waiting with dinner. Auntie Zhang quickly thanked him. Thank you so much, doctor. Just then, Bu Po waddled in, carrying a lunchbox in its mouth. Time to eat, time to eat. Taking the small lunchbox, Auntie Zhang instructed, Xiao Yuan, this is a nourishing meal. Uncle Li specially cooked for you. If you don't appreciate it, you're not getting any. Lin Yuan gave a wry smile. How would I dare, Auntie Zhang? The moment the lid was opened, Tong Ming squealed, wow, braised pork. Yin Yin was just as excited. It smells so good, so good. Lin Yuan looked at Auntie Zhang holding Bu Po and thought, Uncle Li's Bu Po has always been a mystery, not as active as others of its kind. Let's take a look. The system immediately popped up. Spirit creature name, species, level, type, quality, skills, exclusive trait. All were question marks. It's not a real Bu Po. Heavy footsteps echoed on the road. Lin Yuan's face was dotted with sweat as he ran, panting heavily. Asterisk. Huff. Huff. Asterisk. This is bad. It's been a few days since I left the hospital, and I've been jogging for an hour every morning. This intensity is still too much for me. It's because my body was never tempered with spiritual energy since I was a child. I should just give up on being a combat professional and switch to a lifestyle profession. Suddenly, Auntie Zhang pushed Uncle Li's wheelchair over. He smiled. Xiao Yuan. Up early for training? Lin Yuan flexed his skinny bicep. Yes, sir. You have to work out to be healthy and handsome, right? The system flashed next to Uncle Li. Bone-devouring silk. Origin, bone-devouring silkworms. Level, platinum or higher. A biological toxin mixed with a spiritual curse. Seeing the swarming silkworms on the hem of his clothes, Lin Yuan shuddered internally. I sacrificed my own body to a corpse worm, resulting in the curse of the affixed bone, a terrifying poison locked around my calf all year long. This spiritual energy. It's at least king level. The highest of the high. He frowned. If that's the case, then that Buto creature, just like Uncle Li, must be faking its severe injuries, healing itself, hiding its true strength. Auntie Zhang pushed her card over, adding, Little Yuan, if anything happens, remember to call. If that kid needs to pay any fees, don't try to handle it all by yourself. Lin Yuan waved politely. Don't worry, Uncle and Auntie. Watching their figures disappear, he let out a soft smile. Ever since that day, Uncle Li had always taken care of him and the kid. If only I could heal his wounds. I wonder if I can even do it. A moment later, Lin Yuan pushed open the door to his home. The small potted plant had grown larger. Spirit beast name, green vine. Species, Araceae family, Epipremnum genus. Level, 3, common. System, plant. Quality, elite. Lin Yuan gasped in surprise. Elite quality? It was just common last night. How did it level up? He guessed that his spiritual energy wasn't leaking out. Instead, it flowed through him, pushing his spirit beasts to absorb it and evolve. I have to try again, increase the difficulty, and choose the lily, a healing type. Keep in mind, the green vine was originally the lowest level beast, practically a pure plant. only good for livestock feed. Lin Yuan placed his hand on it, channeling his spiritual energy with all his might, and the system's text immediately changed. Spirit beast name, Lily. Species, Kalanchoe family, Echeveria genus. Level, 1. Elite. System, wood. Quality, common. Skills, heal, recovers external injuries. Fragrance, a gentle herbal scent that soothes tense emotions. Lin Yuan grinned from ear to ear. Success, an elite grade lily, plus this skill. It would sell for at least 100 times the price. He dashed up the stairs, excitedly calling out, Tongming! Yin Yin, wake up and look at this. Yin Yin appeared first, cheerful. Lin Yuan, I think we've leveled up. Tongming then leaped into his arms from out of nowhere. The system displayed new information. Spirit beast name, 100 questions beast. Species, cat family, Rus genus. Level, 2. Common. System, spirit. Quality, common. Skill, perfect memory, remembers every small detail. Tongming boasted smugly, before, I could remember 1 piece of braised pork. Now, I can remember 30. Yin Yin had also changed. Spirit beast name, Soundbird. Species, Blue Jay family, Kingfisher genus. Level, 3, common. System, sound. Quality, common. Skill. It chirped. My singing has improved so much. La 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 la. Lin Yuan hugged Tongming tightly. Not bad. I found my golden finger. We're going to be rich. Yin Yin tilted its head. Golden finger, golden finger. What's a golden finger? Suddenly, Lin Yuan froze. His eyes widened. Wait a minute. It's not just about getting rich. Evolving a spirit beast is incredibly difficult. Aside from a few natural evolutions, most creators have to use treasures and spirit medicines to push them to their limits, and even then, the success rate is low. To do it just by myself, with a terrifying ability like this, countless people will be watching me. One wrong move, and I'll be like a tall tree that catches the wind, crashing down. I can't protect myself yet, so I can't reveal this. To use this power safely, I have to become a creator, step by step. Using that profession as a shield is the only way to last. Otherwise, I'll just bring disaster upon myself. With that thought, he clenched his fists. Tongming called out, Lin Yuan, Lin Yuan, Lin Yuan. The phone's ringing. It's the kid. He snapped out of it. Ah, thanks. He calculated silently. That's right. Based on the date, the kid is about to sign a contract with his first spirit beast. He answered the phone, putting a hand on his hip with a smile. Hello, is that you, kiddo? A clear voice came from the other end. Big brother, you haven't called in a few days. Are you okay? Lin Yuan's voice softened. I'm much better than before. I was even planning to clean up the backyard today. Chuchchi cried out. What? You don't have any spiritual energy to strengthen you. How could you handle that? What cleaning? Wait for me to come back. Lin Yuan reassured her. It's just some light cleaning, nothing strenuous. Don't worry, I'm not that weak yet. Just remember our promise, okay? Study hard at school and don't waste your talent. Chuchchi was silent for a long time after he said that, then whispered softly. Her voice was firm. Yes, I know. Hanging up, she clutched her phone, her eyes burning with determination. Brother, I won't let you down. That afternoon, in the classroom, the teacher's crisp voice echoed in the quiet air. The suitable range for each combat profession system is also different. Students, in the next 2 days, you will be signing a contract with your first spirit beast. I cannot overstate how important this is. Although the quality and level of the spirit beast are decisive, the level of the spirit chi professional will also affect the combat power the spirit beast can unleash. The suitable range for each combat profession system is also different. If the spirit beast's path doesn't align with your own, it will be very difficult to form a successful contract, and it could even damage your spiritual power. Even for lifestyle professions like craftsmen and weavers, you need long-term training and understanding of spirit beasts to be able to fuse spiritual materials together. Not to mention, our class focuses on cultivating combat professionals, so the coordination between spirit beasts needs even more careful consideration. When the bell rang, the students rushed out the door, shouting, "Goodbye, teacher." Just as Chuchchi was about to leave, the teacher called her back. "Chuchchi, stay for a moment. Chuchchi, are you really not going to reconsider the spirit beast you want to contract with? I understand your family's situation, but your talent is exceptionally high. The Federation's upcoming prodigy selection is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity you absolutely cannot miss." Chuchchi lowered her head, hesitating. "Teacher, I..." That late afternoon, Lin Yuan's house was filled with noise. He cheered with excitement. It was a huge success. The 3 pots of lilies had leveled up to elite grade, each worth at least 20,000 Federation coins. Now there was hope to buy a high-level contract spirit creature for the kid. Suddenly, his phone vibrated like crazy. Lin Yuan guessed it was an unknown number. Could it be a new customer? What perfect timing. He answered the phone politely. Hello, may I ask who's calling? Words poured out from the other end of the line. Are you Chuchchi's guardian? Do you have any idea that this child is planning to form a contract with a return armor worm? With such amazing talent, how could she waste it like this? Hearing this, Lin Yuan's eyes widened in shock. A. Return armor worm. A common spirit creature worth only 200 coins. Its attack was strong, but its skills were pathetically weak. No one would ever want to form a contract with it. It was only good as food for high-level insectivorous beasts. Seeing his silence, the teacher continued in a shrill voice. Chuchchi's compatibility range covers all defense-type spirit creatures. A talent like that is probably rare in the entire Zijing city. It would be best if you, the guardian, prepared an elite-grade defense-type spirit creature for her first contract. Lin Yuan quickly replied, Yes, thank you, ma'am. I will definitely bring a suitable spirit creature to the school within 2 days. He quickly calculated in his head. An elite-grade creature would cost at least 100,000 Federation coins. He'd have to rush to raise all his common Thonla plants to elite grade, and then trade them for a top-tier, elite-grade defense-type spirit creature for the kid. The next morning, at the bus stop, Lin Yuan's face was drained of all color. He panted heavily, cursing the heavens. He had spent the entire night channeling spirit energy, and his body felt completely wrung out, but he had made it just in time. The spirit creature market was a shady place, so it was best to be cautious and hide his assets, just in case. Lin Yuan tilted his head slightly, his voice a worried whisper. Smarty, are you sure you want to come along? Smarty popped out from inside Lin Yuan's hat, grinning from ear to ear. Of course, the good boys stay at home. Excuse doesn't work on me anymore. Besides, bargaining is one of the duties of 100 questions beast. Hearing that, Lin Yuan could only sigh in exasperation. This little guy had started to rebel after leveling up. Just as he thought that, the driver's voice echoed from a distance. The ride is here, please wait behind the yellow line. Smarty stared at the horse-drawn carriage in front of them, utterly bewildered. Huh? Why does this look completely different from the bus I know? Lin Yuan explained with a smile. That's because you've only been reading history books, not modern transportation guides. 100 years after the spirit energy revival, spirit creatures have long since replaced some of the steel machinery. Once the passengers were on board, the driver reminded them in a deep, warm voice. Hold on tight. On command, the horse shot forward. Smarty was blown out of the carriage by the wind, but luckily, Lin Yuan managed to grab him. It shrieked, Meow, this thing is fast. The driver glanced at Lin Yuan and casually struck up a conversation. Young man, you're not heading to the spirit creature market, are you? You've come at just the right time today. Hearing this, Lin Yuan's curiosity was piqued. Why? Is there a new supply of spirit creatures? The driver immediately explained. Haven't you read the news? 2 days ago, a dimensional rift opened up in the suburbs, 30 miles from Xia district. I heard 3 squads of the Zijing Guard are still stationed nearby. It took the Zijing Guard 2 days and 2 nights to hunt down and wipe out all the dimensional insects that poured out of the rift. They've brought the situation with the dimensional rift under control. Lin Yuan repeated the 3 words Zijing Guard in awe. The driver nodded and continued. This dimensional rift just so happened to open near a spirit creature breeding base. The young spirit creatures either died or were injured. A few of the staff members have come out to set up stalls at the market to sell off the remaining injured spirit creatures. Smarty chimed in, muttering with a look of understanding. So that's how that shield armor pig got out. The driver was still going on and on. Especially the shield armor pigs. A few of them escaped. I managed to buy one for a bargain yesterday. The moment the food was served and the firecrackers went off, all the kids in the village scrambled to grab it, hanging it all up to make smoked bacon. Lin Yuan gave him a thumbs up. You're the man, big bro. In that case, please drop us off at the intersection closest to that stall. He rejoiced internally. A heavily injured spirit creature would definitely not be too expensive. He could get a real bargain. A moment later, Lin Yuan and Smarty set foot in the noisy, bustling market. Smarty's eyes lit up as he said excitedly, All right, leave the rest to me. Lin Yuan, what kind of spirit creature do we want to buy? What's our budget? Lin Yuan replied helplessly. An elite-grade defense-type spirit creature, worth at least 100,000 Federation coins. Hearing this, it cried out in alarm, but our savings aren't even 20,000. He shrugged, smiling smugly. That's why we need to trade the Thon La and the lilies we leveled up last night. Smarty's voice softened. Meow. In that case, people will definitely try to rip us off. A common grade Thanla plant costs between 1,500 and 3,000. 20 of them would be. Lin Yuan looked at the small plants that were constantly glowing, his heart filled with questions. These plants, they're calling out to me. He could now clearly sense the instinctive approach and rejection from other spirit creatures. The fainter the light they emitted, the more familiar their aura felt. But, Tan Duangli, Minglan, Snow Lily, Emperor's Jewel. Is my compatibility range really this wide? Healing type and support type are quite compatible, and so are plant type spirit creatures, an instinctual closeness. The kid's compatible type is the defense system. As he was lost in thought, Tong Ming's voice suddenly rang out. Lin Yuan, hurry and look at this. A sturdy young man was selling an item for 80,000, but Tong Ming offered 10,000. The young man lowered the price to 70,000. Tong Ming raised his a little. 15,000. The man frowned in annoyance. 60,000 is my final offer. Tong Ming gave his final price of 20,000. Take it or leave it. The system window flashed, displaying detailed information about the hard-skinned rabbit spirit beast. Species, rabbit family, mountain hare genus. Level 1. Elite. System. Defense. Quality. Common. Skill. Hardened skin. Produces a layer of scale-like skin shield on the outside. The contractor's skin layer helps block damage. Lin Yuan rushed over, grabbing Tong Ming in a tight hug and bowing his head in embarrassment. I'm sorry, so sorry. My 100 questions beast is just too rude. The seller just clicked his tongue in annoyance. Tong Ming pouted and retorted. Lin Yuan, what are you doing? If I kept haggling, I'm sure I could have gotten it for 20,000. He leaned close to its ear and whispered, do you understand what price comparison means? The information on that little turtle was for a bonsai turtle spirit beast. Species, tortoise family, top-ear-nosed turtle genus. Level, 3 common. System, defense. Quality, common. Skill, gigantification. Enlarges its own size to protect the contractor behind it and block damage. Lin Yuan narrowed his eyes, a look of regret on his face. The level is too low, and I don't have time to help it level up. Tong Ming nodded in agreement, moving slowly. The next beast's information showed a curling ball pig spirit beast. Species, armadillo family, rolling beast genus. Level, 1, elite. System, defense. Quality, common. Skill, curling. Curls its body into a ball and relies on rolling for physical movement. It helps the contractor block damage. Lin Yuan shook his head helplessly. It's no different from the hard-skinned rabbit. Tong Ming grimaced disdainfully. Something that embarrassing can't protect the kid, right? How about we reconsider that hard-skinned rabbit? He reassured it and continued to stroll around. Let me think. Lin Yuan considered carefully, looking all around. In the end, only this one was noteworthy. A plate-horned ram spirit beast. Species, goat family. Level, 7 elite. System, rock. Quality, perfect. Skill, brace. Uses the large horns on its head to resist and defend. Looking at those young horns, Lin Yuan nodded in satisfaction. A young one with perfect quality, and it even knows a control-type skill. Horn shock. The information repeated. Plate-horned ram spirit beast. Goat family. Level 7 elite. Rock system. Perfect quality. Skill. Brace. Uses the large horns on its head to resist and defend. Horn shock. Attacks with its horns, causing the target's body to suffer. High-frequency vibrations that produce a paralyzing effect. Lin Yuan generously made an offer. Sir, how about 100,000 for this plate-horned ram? Hearing this, Tong Ming was stunned. 100,000? The owner slowly lowered his newspaper and replied sleepily, Hold on, I have to call my wife. Tong Ming grumbled in frustration. Lin Yuan, I already checked the price online yesterday. A plate-horned ram only costs about 50,000, and even a rare one would only be around 90,000. You're acting like some nouveau riche. The owner was focused on his phone call, occasionally mumbling, okay. Meanwhile, Lin Yuan was explaining to Tong Ming, this is called showing sincerity. You're still too green when it comes to negotiating prices. After hanging up, the owner gave his decisive verdict. 120,000 federal currency, not a cent less. Both of them sighed deeply in unison, thinking how unlucky they were. Lin Yuan was dejected. I don't think there are any other defense-type spirit beasts here. Tong Ming suggested, if there's really no other choice, we'll just have to bite the bullet and buy this plate-horned ram. This is for the kid, after all. In the distance, a crowd was gathered excitedly around a small stall. A tall man announced generously, Thank you all for your support these past few days. The spirit beast meat is now sold out. To those who couldn't buy any, I'd like to offer my apologies right here. The people around him murmured in disappointment. How is it all gone, boss? I thought I saw a few heavily injured spirit beasts inside, didn't I? Why don't we just butcher them too? Another person nodded in agreement. That's right. Who knows when we'll get a good deal like this again? Lin Yuan's ears perked up, and his eyes immediately lit up like stars. Huh? Heavily injured spirit beasts? Tong Ming nudged his arm, kindly reminding him, Lin Yuan, now is not the time for braised pork. Brother Yang said apologetically to the crowd, we're not butchering the ones inside. Sorry to have made you all wait for nothing. If you're interested, you can go inside and take a look. There are only 3 left, and they're selling for cheap. A dissatisfied customer spoke up. Are you kidding me? You're not even going to butcher the heavily injured ones for meat? How are we supposed to heal them if we buy them? Who has the money to hire a creator? Let's disperse. There's nothing left to buy. Noticing Lin Yuan approaching, Brother Yang quickly reminded him, young man, you're too late. The meat is sold out, and this stall won't be selling spirit beast meat anymore. Lin Yuan replied with a serious face, Sir, I'm not here to buy meat. I want to see the spirit beasts inside. He thought to himself, asterisk, I can sense his emotions. Asterisk. The owner was clearly flustered. At times like these, one wrong move in the negotiation and you'd be kicked right out. Luckily, he was different now. The bracelet with its calming skill kept him unusually composed. Duong squinted his eyes, smiling warmly. Young man, I'm not that much older than you. You can just call me Brother Duong. There are 3 more heavily injured spirit beasts inside. I'll take you to see them. As you can see, inside are 2 venom web beasts. They look healthy at first glance, but their abdomens have been torn wide open. In this condition, they'll be lucky to survive more than 2 days. Smarty pinched his nose and cried out, It stinks. The creature in the cage was introduced. Spirit beast, venom web beast, bloated belly family, elite level 10, poison type, perfect quality. Skill. While moving, it sprays sharp, hard-to-see spider silk along its path. Venom web. Sprays a net of poisonous spider silk forward. Lin Yuan observed it closely, making a quick assessment. If the dimensional rift hadn't opened, I'm afraid they would have reached the bronze tier soon. This is good stuff, he asked excitedly. If they weren't injured, wouldn't one of these sell for at least 300,000 Federation coins on the Star Web? Duong smiled and replied, That's on the low end. A support-type spirit beast like this, with both control and poison abilities, would sell for an even higher price. But now, getting 150,000 Federation coins for both of them would be a great deal. Lin Yuan immediately proposed, Brother Duong, I want to buy these 2 venom web beasts, but I don't have enough money on me. I was wondering if I could trade a spirit beast for them? Duong's expression fell slightly. Little brother, I won't hide it from you. After I'm done here, I'm going to use these spirit beasts to start a breeding base. I'm starting over from scratch, so I might not necessarily need the spirit beast you're offering. He sighed internally. A kid is still a kid, after all. I really shouldn't have gotten my hopes up. Lin Yuan immediately made his offer. What if it's an elite grade azure vine? Duong's brows furrowed. You want to trade an elite azure vine? I wonder what quality your azure vine is. Lin Yuan grinned. I'm very confident in its quality. If you'd like, Brother Duong, you can come to my place and inspect the goods first. Hearing this, Duong pondered for a moment. An elite-grade azure vine was an extremely rare species on the market. Anyone who wanted to buy one would have to pay double the original price. If this kid was telling the truth, he let out a soft sigh. This is the last spirit beast I have left, and it's the one we poured the most effort into. The beast he brought out had its information displayed. Spirit beast, rhino rock ox, horned family, bull species, elite level 10, earth type, epic quality. Skill, rock horn. Channels a self-sacrificing attack through its 2 horns, disregarding any injuries. Sacrifice. When its contractor takes damage, it will actively help share the damage. Lin Yuan's eyes lit up. Brother Duong, how much are you planning to sell this rhino rock ox for? He assessed it in his mind. Epic quality, about to reach bronze tier, and it's a defensive spirit beast. It's a perfect fit for little guy. Duong asked stiffly, Are you serious? Its condition is not optimistic. But Lin Yuan ignored him, praising the rhino rock ox instead. So cool. How about 20,000 Federation coins? Duong's face immediately went pale. Do you have a way to heal this rhino rock ox? A guess flashed through his mind. Could it be that he has a creator backing him? Duong couldn't hide his astonishment. Little bro, are you saying you want to buy all 3 of them, and you'll trade an elite-grade azure vine for them? Lin Yuan replied concisely, his voice firm. Brother Duong, trust me. The azure vine will not disappoint you. Smarty chimed in to support him. Lin Yuan would never trick you. Finally, Duong nodded. All right, I'll trust you. Since you want to buy all 3 spirit beasts, then we can pack up this stall. We'll head out in a bit to see your azure vine. It just so happens I have a spirit beast containment chest, so we can put the rhino rock ox and the venom web beasts inside and take them with us. With that, Duong tossed an item towards Lin Yuan. Smarty asked Lin Yuan curiously, "What's this?" He replied, "A spirit beast containment chest, a proprietary invention of the Ostrich Logistics Company. You can place spirit beasts inside it. The size adjusts to fit the chest, and its weight is also reduced, making it lighter and more convenient for transporting heavy spirit beasts." Smarty's eyes widened in surprise. "There's such a great item? How come I've never seen you use one for us?" Lin Yuan waved his hand. When have we ever had the spare cash to buy something like that?" The spirit beast containment chest shone a light on the rhino rock ox, and it was immediately sucked inside, much to Smarty's amazement. "A beast that big really got stuffed in there? That's incredible." Duong let out a breath. "This spirit beast containment chest is bronze tier, rank 2. I'm afraid this rhino rock ox will never have the chance to advance to a bronze tier spirit beast." Then, he summoned a giant beast, the flowing flame lizard spirit beast. Crested lizard family, scaled lizard species, bronze tier, rank 7 out of 10, poison fire type, common quality, skill, broken tooth. During a bite attack, it will intentionally break off a tooth and embed it in the target's body. Rolling tier. After biting a target, it will use its mouth as a pivot point to rotate its body, tearing into the target's flesh and bone. Exclusive trait, fire, poison. It grows an additional poison gland that connects to its salivary gland, infusing its saliva with a burning toxin. Patting the flowing light fire lizard's head, Mr. Duong laughed smugly. "So, what do you think, little brother? I've raised this flowing light fire lizard pretty well, haven't I?" Lin Yuan gave him a thumbs up in praise, clicking his tongue in admiration as he examined it. Truly worthy of a bronze-grade spirit creature. The fire poison trait effectively enhances its offensive capabilities, he thought to himself. I've never had the chance to observe a bronze-grade spirit creature this up close before. Mr. Duong, on the other hand, became wary. He's definitely not simple. To be so young and already possess the in-depth knowledge of a spirit creature researcher, if it's not a rare talent, then he must have a master guiding him from behind the scenes. Looks like I made the right bet this time. Suddenly, a voice called out from behind Mr. Duong. "Old Duong." The moment he turned around, he was faced with an angry customer. "What's the big idea, suddenly summoning your flowing light fire lizard out here? My hard-skinned rabbit is so scared it won't even eat. My fairy monkey is the same." Mr. Duong scratched his head apologetically. My apologies. We're leaving right now." Climbing onto the flowing light fire lizard's back, Mr. Duong smiled. "We're about to take off. Hold on tight." The flowing light fire lizard stomped its foot and shot forward. Lin Yuan, sitting behind him, marveled. "This thing is way faster than a thick-hoofed train." Smarty screamed for its life in terror. It wasn't until they arrived home that Mr. Duong finally spoke. "You live closer than I thought, little brother. You're in great shape. A normal person riding it for the first time wouldn't be able to stop themselves from throwing up. But this is nothing. The real thrill is riding a flying spirit creature and looking down at the ground from high above." Lin Yuan panted wearily. "Not at all. I should be the one thanking you. This was my first time riding a bronze-grade spirit creature." The house was sparsely furnished, and Mr. Duong told him to sit wherever he liked. He followed him in, looking around and assessing the place. No matter how you look at it, this doesn't seem like the place where a creator would live in seclusion. If the quality of your usnia isn't up to standard, little brother, then this big brother will have to separate friendship from business. But when he saw the potted plants, Mr. Duong's mind was blown. A creator! It must be a creator. Elite-grade usnia of such high quality. It's absolutely impossible to cultivate without a creator's help. Mr. Duong nearly shouted with joy. "This is far beyond my expectations. They're all of flawless quality. This stuff is a rare commodity even on the star web, where countless merchants have it up for sale." Lin Yuan immediately began to boast. Before they evolved, these usnea were all grown in soil infused with energy ores, so their root systems are very well developed. There's definitely no problem with the quality. Mr. Duong carefully examined the plant's condition and thought to himself, the cut is juicy and fresh. Looks like this kid wasn't lying. Peak elite grade. Could it be that my, old Duong's, luck is about to change? He suddenly remembered the words of the cloaked figure. What right do you have to request an audience with a creator master like me? Mr. Duong pondered. To invite a creator. I must present a spirit ingredient that they like. At my level, I definitely don't have the opportunity to obtain such things. But if I can build a relationship with this young friend. Seeing that he had been silent for a while, Lin Yuan asked again, Mr. Duong, are you satisfied with these usnea? He quickly nodded, satisfied, very satisfied. Then let's talk about the price. To be honest with you, all of your usnea here are elite grade of flawless quality. On the Star Web, they'd be highly sought after even at 30,000. The highest price I can offer is 33,000 per pot, and I'll take a full 100 pots. I wonder if you have that many, my friend. Hearing this, Smarty felt like it was struck by lightning and exclaimed, 33,000 for one pot. How much money is that? Lin Yuan calmly replied, that's fine, but inwardly, he was thinking, this is perfect. I need a large quantity to level up my spirit chi professional rank, and usnea is the most convenient option. Mr. Duong, meanwhile, continued to ponder. This transaction is not a small sum, yet this young man's expression is completely calm. He must be worldly and experienced. His ordinary appearance and this small shop must be a cover-up orchestrated by the master behind him. With that thought, Mr. Duong stood up, making the excuse of stepping out for some fresh air. I wonder how many days you'll need to prepare the goods, little brother. Lin Yuan smiled and replied, 7 days. Inwardly, he was silently calculating, each pot takes an hour, plus 2 days to give the spirit creature to that kid, not to mention rest time. 7 days is really the absolute limit. Mr. Duong was filled with excitement, cheering inwardly, my God, a blessing in disguise. I, old Duong, have been favored by the heavens. Is my fortune about to turn around this quickly? This is truly the path to paradise. Lin Yuan's eyes crinkled as he gave a radiant smile. All right, Mr. Duong, you can come pick up the goods in 7 days. Mr. Duong nodded repeatedly. Beaming, he said, Of course. But, little brother, are you sure you don't need a deposit for the remaining 70 pots? This big brother can still afford a small deposit like that. Lin Yuan waved his hand magnanimously. There's no need. Just come pick them up at the appointed time. We can settle the payment all at once then. Mr. Duong walked out the gate, turning his head back to wave. All right, brother, I'll be back in 7 days. Lin Yuan smiled and replied, Of course. See you then, Brother Yang. He thought to himself, the real challenge is about to begin. A moment later, in the backyard, Yin Yin, exhausted after a night of flying, asked curiously, Lin Yuan, is he going to stay with us for a long time? Tong Ming frowned with worry. We can't afford to keep him. This time, Lin Yuan got genuinely angry. Let's save him first and talk later. You two, get down here now. Lin Yuan's eyes widened, his heart burning with urgency. He's on the brink of death. I have to act now. Spiritual energy surged from his palms. The wounds began to heal. The more he watched, the more excited he became, a wide grin spreading across his face. This is great. Let's see if I can speed this up. He pushed his spirit energy-covered palms forward. The Rockhorn Bull's entire body was enveloped in the energy, and it let out a pained, desperate roar. Lin Yuan's jaw dropped in astonishment. What's happening? Could this be the barrier to breaking through to the bronze rank? Hang in there, Xiao Yao. We have to break through this wall. Lin Yuan stood firm, waiting for the dust to settle. A small crack appeared, then shattered completely. He peeked out from behind his arm and cheered. We did it. The beast, now healed, stood tall. Its posture was proud. Its information quickly updated. Spirit beast, iron horn rhino, species, horned family, bovine branch, male. Level, 1, rank, bronze, 1 out of 10. Element, metal, quality, common, skill, rockhorn. Metal is attached to its 2 horns. The reinforced metal on its horns can launch a self-sacrificing attack, disregarding any injuries. Sacrifice. When the contractor takes damage, it will actively share the damage for them. Suddenly, Lin Yuan's eyes widened in amazement. Wait a minute. The system screen continued to display the words, exclusive trait, awaiting selection. Scale skin. An additional layer of skin is reinforced on top of its hide. Like scales with a composition similar to its skin. Endurance run. Conserves stamina while running at high speeds. Pain absorption. When taking damage, it absorbs a portion of the damage and converts it into life force. Lin Yuan couldn't believe his eyes. He actually got to choose. He crossed his arms, deep in thought. 3 traits, pick one. The first 2 sound tempting. This is a tough choice. This endurance run skill is completely redundant on a defensive type spirit beast. As for scale skin, it would probably grow a thick layer of scales. Besides increasing defense, the friction from the scales could deal extra damage during a charge. but overall, it still feels a bit forced. Pain absorption, however, is completely different. It takes a hit and absorbs the damage to heal itself. Isn't this the perfect skill for a tank-type beast? The more you hit it, the tougher it gets. That's it. I choose you. Pain absorption. Another transformation began. The system screen updated with new information. Spirit beast, iron horn rhino, species, giant horned family, branch, wild bovine, spirit rank, bronze, level, 1 out of 10, element, metal, quality, common, skill, rockhorn, coats its 2 horns with reinforced metal to launch a reckless charge. Sacrifice. When the contractor is injured, it actively takes on a portion of the damage for them. Exclusive trait, pain absorption. Absorbs a portion of the damage taken and converts it into life force. Lin Yuan watched it transform, his heart filled with pride. He calculated in his head, if I can cleverly combine rockhorn and pain absorption, it'll create a perfect loop. It will no longer be a pure defensive beast, but a powerful attacker disguised as a defender. Lin Yuan crossed his arms, a satisfied and refreshed smile on his face. Using this as her first spirit beast is the perfect choice. Let's see which brat dares to sneak up on her now. Tong Ming smacked his lips curiously. In that case, with Chuchchi and this iron horn rhino, aren't they the legendary beauty and the beast pairing? Lin Yuan shrugged nonchalantly. So what? Her safety is what matters most. Besides, you talk as if you aren't a beast yourself. He curled his lips into a slight smirk, confirming his thoughts. As expected, I wasn't wrong. Not only did the iron horn rhino break through to the bronze rank, but my own spiritual power surged along with it. The higher a spirit beast's evolution, the more spiritual power I get in return. Tong Ming, getting licked by the rhino, shouted with its fur standing on end. Hey, don't you know how heavy you are? Lin Yuan paid it no mind, as he was lost in his own train of thought. Just helping the iron horn rhino break through to the bronze rank nearly exhausted me. I wonder if a top-tier beast creator combined all sorts of heavenly treasures. What kind of realm could they reach? Tong Ming, now soaked in saliva, asked helplessly. How are we going to send it to her now? Lin Yuan, scrolling on his phone, casually replied, Thang Tian Ostrich Logistics, of course. I was planning on using them anyway, and since this is urgent, I placed an express order. They should be here to pick it up any minute. Hearing this, Tong Ming immediately got excited. What? Express order? Does that mean I get to fly like Yin Yin? Awesome, I'm going to fly. That night, at the Radiant Moon Palace, a soft voice echoed from within. 3 parts Huoxiang Mao, 1 part Chenhai Wumu, 1 part essence blood of a platinum beast. The blue bird dropped a vial of solution into the other's hand. Sikong hesitated and whispered, City Lord Ling Xiao. This. Ling Xiao cut him off coldly. Spare me the nonsense. They watched as a small wooden stick fell into the vial of solution. It immediately exploded. The Moon Empress pointed forward, controlling a red object, and at the same time, go, she thought to herself. Just the concoction process alone possessed such terrifying power that it even forced her own protective spiritual energy to activate. Is this the level of a 5-star creation master? After finishing, the Moon Empress, one of the 3 5-star creation masters of the Radiant Federation, gave the order. All right, summon the spirit beast you wish to evolve. The king rank expert clutched his chest, gasping for breath. The lord of Lingxiao City was stunned. The king rank expert turned to reassure him. I told you there was no need to worry. The man replied respectfully. Thank you, Your Majesty the Moon Empress. This is it. Without another word, the Moon Empress casually tossed the freshly made solution towards the giant beast. It began to drain the life force from its body, causing its entire body to tremble violently before collapsing to the ground. Sikong stammered in terror. Your Majesty. She explained calmly. It's fine. It's evolving to the legend grade. You just need to fuse the will rune you've comprehended into it, and it can evolve into a fantasy breed. Sikong clasped his fist and bowed respectfully. Thank you, Your Majesty the Moon Empress. I, Sikong, am willing to work myself to the bone for you. I would go through fire and water without hesitation. Suddenly, the beast's eyes shot open, and it let out an earth-shattering roar as it struggled to its feet. That roar caused a pair of rabbit ears to twitch slightly. A small rabbit sitting on a soft sheet let out a soft huff. The beast's body was still trembling uncontrollably. A sobbing sound could be heard. The Moon Empress spoke coldly. There's no need to go through fire and water, but the Creation Master selection exam only happens once every 3 years, and it only allows sequential testing. How can we select truly talented Creation Masters that way? Sikong was stunned. Your Majesty means this year's Creation Master exam will allow candidates to skip levels? Stroking the rabbit's soft fur, the Moon Empress made a decisive, authoritative judgment. It only needs to be from grade 1 to grade 2. Anyone who passes the grade 1 Creation Master exam within 2 hours will be exempt from the 3 life occupation exams. They can directly participate in the grade 2 exam. Pass down the order. Sikong bowed in compliance. Yes. At this moment, Ling Xiao finally spoke up tentatively, a sharp glint in her eyes. Is it because you feel that in recent years, the Federation's Creation Master exams haven't found any young people with extraordinary talent who find it difficult to comprehend even a sliver of a will rune? So you've decided on this reform? The Moon Empress snapped her head around, her voice ice cold as she replied, No, this is my own personal matter. As 5-star Creation Masters, both Bamboo Monarch and Chef Sage have already accepted disciples. Naturally, I can't lose to those 2 old geezers. Her words made Ling Xiao's eyes widen in shock. She thought in amazement, Her Majesty the Moon Empress is about to take a disciple? After a moment of silence, the Moon Empress spoke again, her voice steely. Furthermore, the dimensional tide is about to hit, and Purple Thorn City is the place with the most dimensional insect rifts. As the city lord, you must fulfill your duty to protect the land and its people. Every rift must have guards posted. No mistakes will be tolerated. Ling Xiao knelt on one knee, her voice echoing with reverence. Please rest assured, Your Majesty. As the head of the city, I, Ling Xiao, will forever be the pillar of Purple Thorn. The silvery moonlight shone down on the ground, where Lin Yuan was riding a beast, speeding forward. The man suddenly broke the silence. Are you okay, kiddo? It'll get smoother once we fly through the cloud layer. Lin Yuan was retching, his face pale as a sheet. I'm fine. The man smiled warmly. Your 100 questions beast is quite clever. It's a pity this trip is overloaded. Otherwise, we would have had to let it hitch a ride. The image of Clever from earlier flashed through both their minds, crying and making a scene. Meow 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 meow. I want to go. I want to go. Yin Yin gets to fly every day, but this time only Lin Yuan gets to fly. I'm the only one left behind. Yin Yin held it back as Clever explained. Aren't I letting you fly right now? Lin Yuan stood by, comforting it. Be good, Clever. I'll bring you back some delicious food when I return. Back in the present, his face was pale, hand on his neck, as he stammered. It's okay. There will be plenty of other chances. Suddenly, the eyes of the man in front widened. Well, we're here. Take a good look, kiddo. Don't be afraid of heights. This is the famous scenic wonder near our Purple Thorn City. First time seeing it, right? It's better tonight since the moon is bright. If it were pitch black, it wouldn't be nearly as poetic. Lin Yuan looked down with a mixture of curiosity and excitement. Yes, this is truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience. As the scenery filled his eyes, Lin Yuan secretly felt something condensing in his sea of consciousness. This is a will rune. Taking in the majestic scenery, Lin Yuan clearly felt a strange transformation. It was condensing in his sea of consciousness. That was a will rune. There was no mistaking it. This was the will rune that represented mountains and rivers, a perfect match for the type of spirit beast he possessed. Seeing the young man dazed for a long time, the man piloting from the front asked with concern, Are you all right? Lin Yuan snapped back to his senses and quickly replied, I'm fine. We've been flying through this mountain range for a while now. How much longer until we reach Purple Thorn City? The man looked up at the sky, guessing, It'll probably be morning. Lin Yuan raised an eyebrow, his face full of confusion. Huh? Didn't you say we'd get there before dawn? The man gave a wry smile, his tone apologetic. Isn't that because you wanted to come along too? Besides, you were sick earlier, so I had to adjust the speed for you. Hearing this, the boy immediately pinched his nose and waved his hand in protest. Don't worry about me. Just go full speed ahead. The man shook his head helplessly, having no choice but to indulge his client. All right. Early the next morning, the school grounds were buzzing with excitement as students walked and chatted animatedly. One boy asked curiously, Aren't we supposed to be forming contracts with our spirit beasts today? Why are we at the training grounds? The person next to him explained, It seems like the schedule was changed. After we form our contracts with the spirit beasts, we'll have combat practice. The other boy was still surprised, wondering why the combat practice was moved up so much earlier. I heard it's because they have to select people for something called the Violet 100. So all the students' lesson plans have been accelerated, precisely to pick out the truly gifted talents. Another student nodded in agreement. Yeah, that's right. My friend from another school just sent me a message complaining about it. Seeing that the students had all gathered, the teacher standing on a high platform announced loudly that this class was the combat practice for the 12th graders, and also the first combat practice drill for the 10th grade combat class. In a moment, after you students have formed your contracts, you will draw lots and proceed with practice matches against the 12th grade students. Get familiar with your spirit beast's skills. There's no need to worry. We'll stop when appropriate." Hearing this, the blonde girl turned to look at the person beside her. She exclaimed nervously, "Chuchchi, this is so stressful. Fighting against the 12th grade seniors." Pausing for a moment, the girl asked again with concern, "Chuchchi, are you really going to form a contract with a gray-armored bug?" Chuchchi looked down at the box in her hands and nodded with a look of resignation. Inside was a tiny, gray-armored bug. After a series of matches, the teacher waved his hand and shouted, "8th practice match by lottery." The result was as expected. Wushu from the 10th grade lost and ran off the field. Victory belonged to the 12th grade. Witnessing this scene, a female student shouted resentfully, "That's not fair. We just formed our contracts, and we already have to fight seniors who have combat experience. The match is basically one-sided." Then she turned to offer encouragement. "Chuchchi, you're up next. You're the best student in our class. You have to teach them a lesson." The teacher seemed completely unbothered by the dissatisfaction. He waved his hand and called out, "Next, we will proceed with the 9th match. Are you both ready?" Fang Lihong stepped forward, a smug look on his face as he replied, "Of course." The students below began to murmur, with worry again. "It's Fang Lihong. I heard his family has relatives working at the Founders Guild headquarters. Is he trying to get into the Violet 100? It seems like he only needs to win a few more combat matches to secure his victory. Isn't Chuchchi highly rated too? I heard there's a problem with Chuchchi's spirit beast." Hearing these whispers, Fang Lihong chuckled to himself with delight. The Founders Guild had just released the latest news last night, and now he was running into a bunch of stepping stones to help him pad his win rate. The heavens were truly on his side. Not just the Violet 100, even becoming a disciple next month would be a piece of cake. He told himself that the day he would soar to the top was not far off. Besides, he had heard that this 10th grade girl, Chuchchi, was only contracting with a gray-armored bug. In that case, she didn't even have a sliver of a chance to win. If she wants to blame someone, she should blame her own family for being too poor, wasting all that talent. As he thought this, he let out a sneer, "Ha." On the other side, Chuchchi clutched the box in her hands tightly, telling herself that even if she only had this gray-armored bug, she couldn't give up. After a moment of hesitation, she mustered up her courage and said, "I'm ready." Before the words even left her mouth, a voice called out from behind her. Chuchchi turned her head in surprise. A female teacher, struggling to lead a dog, hurriedly pushed it into her hands and urged, "This is all I can do. This yellow-spotted hound is at least an elite grade. We can't let your talent be wasted on a gray-armored bug." Chuchchi timidly hesitated to accept. "Teacher, I." Just then, Lin Yuan leaped down from the stands, shouting, "Wait." Chuchchi looked up in surprise. "What?" Lin Yuan landed on the ground and quickly stopped the teacher's actions. "Thank you for your kind intentions, teacher. I've brought Chuchchi's spirit beast. Good thing I made it in time." He turned to his sister, his gaze firm. "Sis, form a contract with this one. Trust me." As he spoke, he pushed the box containing the spirit pet into her hands. However, the teacher looked rather skeptical and asked, "Is it reliable? If not, you can still try this yellow-spotted hound, although it's a bit disobedient." Before she could finish, Feng Lihong burst out laughing mockingly. "All right. It doesn't matter what spirit beast it is, whether it's a gray-armored bug, a yellow-spotted hound, or something else. It can't possibly beat the Power King beetle I've raised since I was a kid." The spirit beast he summoned was the Power King beetle, a large, metallic rhinoceros beetle. Name, Power King beetle. Level, Bronze Tier 1. Type, Bug. Quality, Elite. Mighty Horn Ram. Focuses all its power into the large horn on its head, launching a self-sacrificing attack that ignores any injuries. When it launches this heroic attack, its power increases by 50%, surpassing the exclusive trait, Insect's Observation. It can see through the camouflage of any spirit beast at bronze tier or below. Seeing this, the teacher broke out in a nervous sweat. That's a Might King beetle, and one that big. The yellow-spotted hound can't possibly stand up to it. Lin Yuan also grew a bit tense as he observed the opponent. It's already bronze tier. It has some real strength. Chuchchi hesitated, looking at the box in her hands, and asked quietly, "Brother, is this a bronze tier spirit containment box?" Her heart was filled with questions, so she pressed on, "Where did our family get this much money? Did you sell the shop?" Lin Yuan walked over and ruffled his sister's hair, gently reassuring her. "Little C, don't overthink it. Just focus on what's in front of you. I believe you can do it." She smiled and nodded obediently. "Okay, don't worry, brother. I'll be fine." With that, she opened the box. She told herself, I won't let your efforts go to waste. Her consciousness immediately merged with the inside of the box, beginning the contract signing ritual. A moment later, the Great Iron Bull was summoned. The surrounding crowd gasped in astonishment. What is that? I've never seen anything like it. It looks like it's made of steel. It's a Great Iron Bull. Feng Liheng maintained his condescending attitude, clicking his tongue mockingly. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Not a bad entrance, but I'm afraid you have no idea how much real combat experience enhances a spirit professional's fighting ability. What a waste of that Great Iron Bull your family probably bankrupted themselves to get, Chuchchi retorted coldly. We don't know who's going to win or lose yet. Iron Bull Rhino, Rock Horn. The teacher cheered excitedly. That's a bronze-tier Iron Bull Rhino, and it has a very thorough reversion to its primal traits. It can be called an elite among bronze-tier defensive spirit beasts. Its horn alone is worth 700,000 Federation coins. Lin Yuan, standing beside her, looked exasperated and gave a wry smile. Ma'am, please don't just measure it in terms of money. The teacher finally composed herself and sighed. Ah, that's the occupational hazard of being a spirit material analyst. Clang, clang, clang. An uneven battle began. The two spirit beasts charged at each other, and at first glance, the situation seemed evenly matched. This only made Feng Liheng even more smug. He sneered. How naive. Your Iron Bull is just a defensive-type spirit beast. How can you just attack so recklessly? Now, I'll show you the true fighting power of a strong offensive-type spirit beast, Mighty Horn Ram. Following its master's command, the Might King Beetle flung the Great Iron Bull into the air. Chuchchi quickly pointed her hand to command. Iron Bull, Rhino, stabilize. Seeing the Great Iron Bull manage to get back up after the impact, Feng Liheng was a little surprised. Just a little bit off. Huh? He silently assessed. She just signed the contract a moment ago and already knows how to use her spirit energy to support her beast. This Chuchchi really has some talent. The teacher, watching from the sidelines, was also covered in sweat, exclaiming, Whew. Thankfully, it wasn't knocked directly out of the arena. Chuchchi was too reckless. She got provoked a little and immediately went on the offensive. She really lacks combat experience. Only Lin Yuan understood what was really happening. He thought to himself, No. That's not right. If Little C familiarized herself with the Iron Bull Rhino's skills the moment she signed the contract, then attacking proactively is a tactic to probe the enemy. In the arena, the Might King Beetle began to circle its opponent. The students watching didn't understand what was happening and started murmuring, What's it doing? The Great Iron Bull probably can't keep up, right? But just flying in circles like that won't do anything. Hearing those words, Feng Liheng sneered inwardly. What a bunch of idiots. A strong, offensive-type spirit beast has started to move. What else could it be for? Obviously, it's to find the perfect opportunity to land a fatal blow. Thinking this, he leisurely mocked her. Little girl, can you even imagine what you're up against? The moment he finished speaking, the Might King Beetle shot forward like an arrow, crashing into the Great Iron Bull and kicking up a huge cloud of dust. Chuchchi cried out in worry, Iron Bull Rhino. The people around also covered their faces, murmuring with concern. That was such a nasty collision. That Great Iron Bull probably won't. Its opponent is a strong, offensive-type spirit beast, after all. It's famous in our school for its one-hit kill move. The teacher sighed anxiously. Although the Iron Bull Rhino is known for its iron-like hide, and Chuchchi tried her best to use her spirit energy to stabilize it, even if it survives the first hit, it'll be tortured to death by the powerful follow-up attacks. As expected, letting a 12th grader fight a 10th grader is just unfair. Why can't the school understand that? Contrary to everyone's worries, Lin Yuan smirked confidently. It's not a problem. After all, that skill was made for situations exactly like this. Just as he predicted, from within the cloud of dust, Chuchchi yelled, Now! The Great Iron Bull activated its exclusive trait, pain absorption. The audience witnessed the strange scene, completely baffled. What? What just happened? The spiritual energy around the Iron Bull Rhino has changed. Its wounds are healing. Is that one of its skills? The teacher's eyes lit up as she gasped. Pain absorption? It can absorb a portion of the damage and convert it into life force when hit. That's a rare, exclusive skill. Lin Yuan was filled with pride. That's my girl. Even though it's her first real battle and the first time she's seen an Iron Bull Rhino, she's already controlling the situation. Feng Liheng was still unconvinced, scoffing coldly. Humph. So what if it has an iron hide? It's just a slightly tougher punching bag, that's all. The Power King Beetle continued its frenzied assault, but no matter how many times it was hit, the big Iron Bull stood firm like an iron tower. The people around them started to worry for it. That's incredible. After so many hits, its power hasn't dropped at all. But Chuchchi's Iron Bull Rhino is just tanking all the damage. Even the teacher got anxious and turned to ask Lin Yuan, "Don't tell me the Iron Bull Rhino you chose doesn't have a single counterattack skill? Why is Chuchchi only defending and not fighting back? Aren't you supposed to be her brother?" He waved his hands and gave a strained smile. "Don't worry, teacher. Didn't you say Chuchchi was compatible with defensive-type spirit beasts? She definitely has her own way of doing things." On the other side, Feng Lihong was growing more and more impatient, roaring out his command. "Power King Beetle. End this with one blow. Use Great Horn Ram with maximum power." Instantly, the Power King Beetle transformed into a giant drill and shot forward. Chuchchi had been waiting for this moment. She gave a sharp command. "Now, get ready." The Iron Bull Rhino used Rockhorn, tearing up the ground. The onlookers stared, unable to believe their eyes. "No way. She's using the terrain itself? Is that even allowed?" Standing behind them, Lin Yuan excitedly clenched his fist, praising her silently. "Nice. She's adapting to the situation perfectly." But Feng Lihong was unimpressed, yelling, "You only know how to use cheap tricks." The Power King Beetle ignored everything and smashed through the pile of earth and rock. But Chuchchi didn't back down, skillfully continuing her command. "Iron Bull Rhino, use Rockhorn." The two spirit beasts crashed into each other, creating a powerful shockwave. Everyone was in disbelief. The big Iron Bull blocked it. How are they evenly matched? The Power King Beetle clearly had the upper hand before. The teacher, now understanding the situation, took the opportunity to teach. "Students, the reason is that the Power King Beetle's Great Horn Ram is a self-sacrificing attack that disregards its own injuries. It may look like it's attacking the Iron Bull Rhino's defense, but each attack also inflicts a small amount of recoil damage on the Power King Beetle itself." She continued, "On top of that, this particular Power King Beetle was likely raised specifically to suit student Feng's personal preferences. It only pursues maximum attack power and precise, locking strikes, which is why it neglects the possibility of being blocked by a spirit beast of the same rank." The others finally understood. "Oh, so that's how it is." Lin Yuan smiled to himself smugly. This kind of high-speed, high-offense training method is meant to establish dominance and end the fight quickly. But if it can't defeat its opponent quickly, the Power King Beetle will find it harder and harder to hold on. Its body began to tremble. The crowd cheered excitedly. "Yes, look, everyone. The Power King Beetle actually slipped. It seems Lady Luck is on Chuchchi's side." The teacher immediately corrected them. "That's not luck. Although they are both spirit beasts, in a prolonged battle of strength, the body balance of an insect-type beast can't compare to the Iron Bull Rhinos. Furthermore, the mental state of the contractor also affects the spirit beast's condition. This is all knowledge you've learned in class, students." Feng Lihong was now starting to panic, his face drenched in sweat, grinding his teeth. Damn it, a mere 10th grade brat. First, she contracts a bronze rank spirit beast, and now she's using a defensive type to block a powerful offensive type's attack. Why is fate screwing me over like this? He decided to go all out. If that's how it's going to be, then I don't care anymore. This is normal in a real battle, so don't blame me. With that thought, he yelled, "Power King Beetle, create some distance and attack the girl directly." Immediately, the Power King Beetle leaped back, curled its body into a ball, and charged furiously straight at Chuchchi. The teacher shouted in shock, "That's against the rules." Lin Yuan panicked as well. "This is bad. Get out of there, Chuchchi." But the young girl remained confident, her eyes sharp as she commanded. "Now, use Rockhorn on the ground again." The big Iron Bull instantly executed the skill. A stone pillar suddenly shot up from the ground, striking the charging Power King Beetle right in its underbelly. The giant beetle fell, unconscious. The referee shouted, "The Power King Beetle has fallen at the edge of the arena. The winner is clear." Feng Lihong's jaw dropped, his face filled with unwillingness to accept defeat. "What?" The teacher pointed at Chuchchi and announced clearly, "The winner is Chuchchi from the 10th grade." She let out a sigh of relief. The people around them cheered wildly. "Chuchchi is so amazing. That was awesome. We finally got a win." The teacher was also ecstatic, slapping Lin Yuan hard on the shoulder in praise. It turned out that the repeated use of Rockhorn was to accumulate enough molten rock on the field, giving the final Rockhorn enough power to overturn the Force King Beetle. As expected of the student, I hold in high regard. Very smart, very good. She turned to Lin Yuan, Chuchchi's older brother. "I can't believe you were able to get your hands on something like that." He leaned away to dodge the shoulder pat, laughing wryly. "Teacher, please calm down. Your grip is way too strong." Suddenly, Chuchchi rushed over, burying herself in his arms and calling out affectionately, "Brother." He froze for a moment before patting her back. "I saw everything, kiddo. Congratulations. The little girl suddenly pouted and punched his chest lightly, demanding, Brother, where did you get this money? Did you sell our family's shop? Without money, what are we going to do about your illness? Are you even thinking about your own health at all? He stroked her head reassuringly. How could I do that? Your brother is all better now, and business is booming. She looked up, her eyes wide with disbelief. Really? Just then, the teacher walked over and interrupted. I wouldn't normally want to bother you, but time is short, and I want to clarify something. Based on Chuchchi's talent, the school hopes to recommend her to participate directly in the Violet Crystal 100 selection. He immediately nodded. You've mentioned this to me before. Fearing he didn't fully grasp the importance, the teacher explained in more detail. The Violet Crystal 100 is the most basic regional selection event, which ultimately qualifies participants for the Radiant 100 selection. That's the true, top-tier national stage. Even though Chuchchi is only in the 10th grade, her talent is more than enough to participate in the Violet Crystal 100 talent selection. The Academy's educational resources will also be focused entirely on her. She will definitely grow very quickly. He looked at his sister with a gentle gaze, then turned to promise the teacher, Thank you for taking care of Chuchchi all this time. Rest assured, from now on, I will do everything in my power to provide for Chuchchi's spirit beasts and resources. The teacher nodded in satisfaction. Nurturing a good seedling is what I ought to do. Chuchchi, you don't have class this afternoon, so you can give your brother a tour of the school. Lin Yuan turned to look at the dog next to the teacher and asked quietly, Teacher, is that a yellow-spotted hound? She chuckled and explained, It's fine, I raised it myself. That evening, as the two siblings walked home, Lin Yuan reaffirmed, Didn't I already tell you I can sense spirit chi now? What more do you need me to prove to you? Don't you believe your big brother? Chuchchi was still not convinced, muttering, I need to see it with my own eyes to be at ease, brother. Besides, that Iron Bull Rhino was very expensive, wasn't it? He had no choice but to open his phone. All right, see for yourself. Staring at the balance in the account, Chuchchi's eyes widened in disbelief. So many zeros? Did you really earn all this money? He told her the whole truth. After my spirit chi recovered, I found I have a bit of a creator's talent. I've been using it to take commissions and earn money. So you can just focus on your studies and participate in the selection, get a good ranking, and you won't have to work to help the family anymore. Your brother is also preparing to participate in the creators competition. Chuchchi was overjoyed. Really? That's great. The two continued walking, chatting happily. Lin Yuan suggested enthusiastically, Come on, we have to celebrate. Let's get something delicious. Do you want to get hot pot? I'll order whatever you want to eat. Time passed again. Lin Yuan sat on the back of a Blackwing, heading back, his mind already calculating. Little Z's studies are on the right track, so I have to work harder too. After all, the competition won't be that easy. After this, I need to buy all the beginner-level books for spirit beast researchers and spirit material analysts. That's quite a lot, huh? I can probably get Genius to help. He thought back to the match. In today's battle, although Little Z seized the opportunity because of the new skill's damage reflection mechanic, her spirit chi control was also very stable. That was the real foundation for her victory. But right now, my own spirit chi level isn't even enough to be called a true professional spirit chi user. Furthermore, if I want to upgrade Mobius, the exclusive spirit lock trait is just too demanding. Do I really have to start from a common grade level 1? Suddenly, the Blackwing shot high into the air before diving abruptly. Startled back to his senses, he shouted, Why did you suddenly speed up like that? The rider in front turned back and replied, I was late when I came to pick you up. If I don't let you see the true ultimate speed of a standard Blackwing this time, won't I get a bad review? He was speechless, but I still have things I need to buy. The driver ignored him. It's all the same. Just place an order on the Star Web. Ostrich Logistics can have it delivered on the same day. A moment later, the bird landed. So tired, its tongue was hanging out. Lin Yuan asked with concern, Is your bird okay? The driver confidently gave a thumbs up. Don't worry, it's fine. Well then, I guess this trip ended smoothly. All right. The stuff you wanted has been delivered. Remember to give me a good rating. He broke out in a cold sweat and forced a smile. Definitely. I definitely will. Thanks for your hard work. After that was done, he turned to look at the pile of goods in front of him and exclaimed, That was so fast. As expected, in this day and age, online ordering is king. I definitely have to build an online store. In the future, I might not even need to go to the spirit beast market anymore. That would be much safer. He called out, Thong Min, Am, I'm home. As soon as it saw him, Am immediately flew over to confront him. What took you so long? Thong Min was also tearing up. In a wounded tone, it said, We missed you to death. but just as it was about to leap into its master's arms, it slammed on the brakes. Ignoring Am, who was rubbing its face against Lin Yuan, it turned away, crossed its arms, and sulked. Nope, I don't care. I'm angry now. Am hesitantly tried to console its friend. Thong Min, don't be mad. Didn't I take you flying for a long time today? Lin Yuan reached out, intending to pet the cat's head. All right, I'll definitely take you with me next time. But Thong Min arrogantly swatted his hand away. I have the right to be angry for 2 days. Not even braised pork can appease me. He chuckled to himself. Such a child. Good thing I came prepared. Asterisk, click, asterisk. The sound of a can popping open rang out. Lin Yuan muttered slyly. Thong Min, this is the apology gift I specially ordered for you. The rich aroma wafting from the can was too much for Thong Min to handle. It cried out, meow. How can I possibly resist something that smells this good? Let me make this clear. It's not that I'm not angry anymore. I'm just shortening the duration of my anger. He was helpless against the little guy. All right, I get it. If you like it, I'll buy it for you every day. Seeing this, Am also demanded its share. Where's mine? Lin Yuan immediately brought out a potted plant. Ta-da! An elite-grade Thon La, just for Am. From now on, this pot will be your exclusive food. The bird gave him a judgmental look, grumbling, wow, and to think you wouldn't even let me eat it yesterday. Suddenly, Thong Min turned its head and asked, Hey Lin Yuan, aren't you eating? He picked up a box, turned away, and called back, You guys eat first. I have to organize these goods. A long while later, Thong Min climbed onto his shoulder and exclaimed, So much stuff? Lin Yuan was also panting from exhaustion. I really didn't expect there to be this much. Suddenly, Am landed on a potted plant and called out, Lin Yuan, I think there's a plant here that's a little different. He looked over, stunned. Huh? Where? Let me see. Picking up the info tag on the pot, he was endlessly surprised. Buy 100 pots of Thon La and get 1 Bok Hop Lily of the same grade for free. They have promotions like this? He recalled the requirements of his bracelet and his heart skipped a beat. Wait a minute. Bok Hop Lily. That's right. How could I have forgotten? The spirit beasts suitable for me are healing type, support type, and plant type. As if his mind had been cleared, Lin Yuan joyfully lifted the pot and cheered. This is it. A healing type plant spirit beast. It has a healing skill even at the normal grade. He turned to instruct his 2 pets. Thong Min, you and Am, stay downstairs for now. Take good care of these Thon La plants. Going upstairs, he cracked his knuckles excitedly. All right, let's give this a try. Activating exclusive skill. Spirit Lock. Spiritual energy was drawn from his body. He was a bit tense because he hadn't rested in a long time, so his spiritual power wasn't in its best state. But he brushed aside his worries, not caring anymore. The bow is already drawn, so the arrow must be fired. Form the contract. Spirit Lock complete. With everything handled, he looked at the bracelet on his wrist and smiled in satisfaction. Excellent. Unlike before, my spiritual power wasn't depleted at all. As long as I continuously channel spiritual power into it, I can chain level it up next. An hour later, an information panel appeared. Name, Bok Hop Lily. Grade, Level 1, Elite. Quality, Elite. Skill, Heal. Recovers external injuries. Lin Yuan wiped the sweat from his forehead and sighed in relief. Phew, the leveling is done. So then, Mobius? The bracelet's information panel updated right before his eyes. Mobius system. Spirit beast name, Mobius. Species, unknown. Grade, Level 1, Elite. Type, spatial, mystic. Quality, Elite. Skill 1, True Data, digitizes all complex information that cannot be resolved by the naked eye. The digitized information can contain truths not visible on the surface. Skill 2, Composure, passive. The effect of composure can be enhanced as the spirit beast's grade increases. Composure can stabilize the mind and has a certain chance to grant immunity to negative statuses. Exclusive trait, Spirit Lock. The Mobius space can nurture spirit beasts. The initial grade of a creature nurtured in the Mobius space cannot be higher than Mobius's grade. Mobius itself cannot level up. Its grade will increase when the spirit beast nurtured within it levels up. At the same time, it can obtain the initial skill of the spirit beast nurtured within it. However, Mobius itself will not gain additional skills when it levels up. Each time Mobius ascends a major grade, it can nurture 1 additional spirit beast. After reading, Lin Yuan couldn't help but rejoice. Just as I thought, his rank had increased, and his consciousness was immediately pulled into the space. Looking at the lily pot at his feet, he sighed in awe. Is this Mobius's spirit locking space? It seems to have doubled in size since last time. Suddenly, a voice echoed from behind him. An ethereal voice asked, Lin Yuan, can you hear me? He smiled and slowly turned his head to reply. I can hear you, loud and clear. Sorry to have kept you waiting. A faint, relieved smile graced the corners of Lin Yuan's lips. So you can talk now. Mobius's voice, steady and clear, rang in his mind. I can, now that I've reached the elite tier. Lin Yuan scanned his surroundings before asking. So, this space is your special ability? The bracelet vibrated slightly, conveying a confirmation. Yes, this is my spirit locking space. As my contractor, you can modify it as you wish. Hearing that he could store and nurture spirit creatures here, Lin Yuan curiously pointed towards the still lake before him. Does this lake do anything? I don't sense any spirit chi. Mobius explained calmly, shattering his expectations. It has absolutely no spirit chi, it's just ordinary water. Hearing this, Lin Yuan scratched his head, a hint of disappointment on his face. So what's in here? Before he could finish, it quickly answered, it has wealth-attracting properties. Lin Yuan glanced at the Mobius bracelet with admiration. You've really got a personality. He casually picked up an energy stone and plunked it into the shimmering water. He watched as the stone gradually released a faint aura of spirit chi that spread through the water. Lin Yuan nodded in satisfaction. As expected, even a low-quality energy stone, normally just used to line flower pots, was effective. It diffuses spirit chi. Mobius continued to explain in more detail. In the outside world, some spirit chi inevitably evaporates. The usage efficiency can't reach 100%. But inside this spirit-locking space, the spirit chi is prevented from escaping. If you put better energy stones in here, over time, the spirit chi will become incredibly dense. Lin Yuan's eyes lit up, his voice filled with excitement. So, if I enhance my spirit creatures here in the future, won't the efficiency be many times faster? Sensing its master's joy, it seemed to be smiling as well. Yes, and as you advance, the time you can use it for will also increase. Suddenly, his expression turned serious. He asked pensively, but all of this requires a huge amount of Federation coins to support it. Even the worst quality energy stones aren't cheap, not to mention high-quality ones. Making money is extremely urgent. Noticing an unusual silence from the other side, he called out worriedly, Mobius, what's wrong? As Mobius itself was slowly reverting to the form of the old bracelet, it managed to transmit a reassuring thought to Lin Yuan. It's nothing. For now, I can only maintain this clear state of communication for half an hour each day. My time is up, that's all. Lin Yuan, I am the first spirit creature you contracted with. Its voice grew fainter, tinged with guilt. I'm so sorry about what happened to your spirit, chi perception, and mental strength for the past 10 years. Lin Yuan looked down at it, his eyes filled with gentleness and forgiveness. It's okay. Those 10 years made me figure out a lot of things. He clenched his fist, thinking to himself, besides, I have hope again now. The road ahead is still very long. Lin Yuan stretched and cracked his wrists. A steely determination flashed in his eyes, as if his declaration of war against fate had only just begun. However, for the Lin Yuan of this moment, the overwhelming sleepiness was a far more irresistible force. Day in of working tirelessly. After draining the last of his spirit chi into the final batch of plants, Lin Yuan let out a heavy sigh. It was so late already. Genius and Yin Yin had fallen fast asleep some time ago. In its sleep, Genius was even smacking its lips and muttering. Gathering spiritual ingredients, Lin Yuan smiled and gently tucked the two small spirit creatures in. He tiptoed into another room, turned on the light, and began to infuse spirit chi into the waiting spray web spiders. Once finished, Lin Yuan breathed a sigh of relief, wiping the sweat from his forehead. Great. All that training to level up recently wasn't for nothing. These two spray web spiders are saved. 7 days later, Yang Mingkai, along with his own Fae, arrived at Lin Yuan's house. He was a bundle of nerves. Standing outside, he clasped his hands and muttered a prayer. Heavens above, please help me, Yang Mingkai. My family has 3 generations of good karma. Please let me turn my life around with this bet. Yang Mingkai hesitated for a moment in front of Lin Yuan's door. He thought to himself, thinking about it, wanting to get 100 pots of elite-grade pothos in such a short time is truly an impossible task. How could I be lucky enough to stumble upon a spirit creature shop backed by a creator? What if? The empty space inside the shop left him stunned and disappointed. Hearing the commotion, Lin Yuan poked his head out from a room. He greeted him cheerfully. Mr. Yang, I knew you'd be here. Yang Mingkai forced a laugh, trying to hide his anxiety. After all, This kid had agreed so readily, but in reality, is too difficult. And I'm in a real bind here. Lin Yuan playfully nudged his shoulder and gave him a wink. I know. Just go take a look for yourself. Inside, Yang Mingkai breathed a silent sigh of relief, praying to the heavens. Even if he only managed to get 30 pots, that would be fantastic. That way, with some diligent spirit beast training, I'd at least have a glimmer of hope. But when he saw the pots of plants brimming with spiritual energy piled up in the room, Yang Mingkai froze. Lin Yuan, smiling so much his eyes crinkled, introduced them. Brother Yang, they're all here. He pointed towards the pile of goods, his tone light. You originally said you needed another 76 pots. You can just pick out 76 from these 100. Yang Mingkai's eyes practically lit up like car headlights. You've just saved half my life, kid. As the excited man grabbed his hand and shook it back and forth until he was dizzy, Lin Yuan quickly said, It's not that big of a deal, really. He forced a smile, trying to pull his hand away. Brother Yang, you're exaggerating. There's no need to be so dramatic, is there? Yang Mingkai, still buzzing with excitement, puffed out his chest and offered, Kid, just name your price. I absolutely won't haggle. Lin Yuan replied, honestly, then the original price will be just fine. Yang Mingkai was so moved he was on the verge of tears. Old Yang here has finally met a benefactor. If he were willing, I'd become sworn brothers with him right this instant. But then he had a sobering thought. How could someone from the noble founder's house possibly take a liking to someone like me? I'm getting ahead of myself. Way ahead of myself. Seeing him turn away in silence, Lin Yuan tilted his head in confusion and called out, Brother Yang. He snapped out of it, quickly grabbing Lin Yuan's shoulders, and affirmed decisively, All right, I'll buy them all at the original price. He also nodded hastily in agreement. Okay. Lin Yuan couldn't help but wonder, why is Brother Yang being so over the top today? While moving the pots to his vehicle, Yang Mingkai turned back to say, Kid, I'm off to revive my training center. You have to come visit when it's ready. He gave a meaningful wink. If I get anything good, I'll save it for you first. Lin Yuan nodded sharply and waved goodbye. Definitely. Take care. Lin Yuan watched Yang Mingkai's retreating figure, a slight smile playing on his lips. Is Brother Yang really that happy? It seems being a founder really is a good profession. He turned back inside, looking around the empty shop. It feels like the place hasn't been this empty in a long time. I'll have to restock. Suddenly remembering something important, Lin Yuan called out, Tongming, I asked you to learn how to register on the Star Web a few days ago. How's that coming along? From inside, Tongming cried out in a panic. Lin Yuan, something's wrong. Hearing the cry for help, he rushed inside with a worried expression. What's wrong? A system panel immediately appeared above Tongming. Spirit beast name. Bach Van Thursday species. Feline. Chipperus. Level. Level 1. Elite rank. System. Spirit. Quality. Elite. Skill. Precise memory. When memorizing anything, it can recall every single small detail with extreme accuracy. Knowledge analysis. Can perform multifaceted analysis of knowledge. First step. Analyze knowledge within memory. The little cat looked at its body, whimpering and crying. I've gotten fat. I can't eat cookies anymore. Lin Yuan was stunned for a moment, then burst out laughing. It's just your fur getting fluffier, right? He walked over, scooped Tongming up, and gently soothed him. Tongming, you've leveled up. You're an elite rank now. It stopped crying, its big round eyes widening in delight, as it asked, Really? Lin Yuan clicked his tongue teasingly. Don't you feel like you've gotten smarter? Tongming immediately started rolling around on the floor, replying in its characteristically arrogant tone. Of course, but I feel it's because I'm naturally gifted. It held up a paw to make a comparison. If before I could remember one cookie, now I can remember 5 cookies like this. The corner of Lin Yuan's mouth twitched as he thought to himself, Looks like its favorite food has changed from braised pork to cookies. Then he patted its head and said, Well, that's great. There will be a lot of things I'll need your help with from now on, Tongming. Tongming puffed out its chest confidently. You can count on me. Lin Yuan glanced around the empty room and asked, Oh, right. Where's Yin Yin? The moment he finished speaking, Yin Yin's frantic cry echoed out. This is bad. Lin Yuan looked at Tongming with a helpless expression. What is it now? Yin Yin was flapping its wings, flying erratically in the air, its tone extremely anxious. I think I've shrunk. Am I sick? Tongming glanced at Lin Yuan as if looking for an ally, then reassured its friend. No, you just leveled up, right, Lin Yuan? He stroked his chin, pretending to observe seriously. Let me see. Lin Yuan looked up at the stats the system displayed for the little bird. Spirit beast name, Amdieu. Species, azure sparrow, kingfisher branch. Level 2, elite rank. System, sound and air. Quality, elite. Skills, sound thorn, shoots a thorn made of sound at the target. Turbulence, flaps its wings to release a rapid and continuous stream of irregular air currents. He patiently explained to it, Yin, it seems both of your new skills are for combat. Why aren't they related to singing? After all, your singing now sounds like a sound of nature, and even gained an air-type attribute. Smarty quickly took out a piece of wood and excitedly talked about the new skill. We already tested it secretly. Lin Yuan took the wooden board, staring intently at the deep dent. This mark was made by the sound blast. Yin nodded her head repeatedly in confirmation. That's right. While you were out, we were playing on our own. Smarty came up with an idea. Let's definitely try it again, and see if the power has increased. Lin Yuan nodded in agreement. All right, Yin's 21st sound blast test begins now. Seeing how close he was, Lin Yuan warned him worriedly. Smarty, you're standing too close to the target. That's dangerous. The cat grinned, completely unafraid. It's fine. Yin's aim is perfect. Fire. Smarty hadn't even finished giving the command when Yin, quick as a flash, fired 3 shots that hit the wooden target dead on. The cat was so startled it cried out, "That was way too dangerous." Lin Yuan patted Smarty's head and said with a smile, "Good job. Now, let's test the effects of turbulence." Yin focused her spirit energy, flapping her wings to create a vortex of wind, causing the wooden board to instantly shatter into pieces. Turbulence. Lin Yuan's eyes widened in astonishment at the terrifying destructive power. This kind of power is nothing a normal level up can compare to. Yin is a pure combat-type spirit beast. Just then, a delivery person standing outside the door called out loudly, "Sir, the items you ordered have been placed at the door. Please sign for them." Lin Yuan quickly replied, "Okay." Smarty, standing beside him, said wistfully in a low voice, "Lin Yuan, let's test Yin's skills one more time. She could probably even shoot through an iron plate." He immediately rejected the idea. "No way. Haven't we watched it enough times? Yin is already very tired." He smacked his lips, his tone a little jealous. "But my skills aren't as interesting as Yin's." Lin Yuan sighed and gently tried to reason with him. "Let Yin rest. You're 100 questions beast, a different type. Besides, I'll have a use for you in a bit." Smarty's eyes lit up like headlights. "Really? What is it? Tell me." He opened the door to the spirit beast room while saying, "First, let's feed these 2 web-spraying beasts." The large, hairy web-spraying beasts made him break out in a cold sweat, and he backed away. "Don't you dare bite me." Seeing his cowardly display, Lin Yuan chuckled. It seems being afraid of spiders is an instinct for many spirit beasts. "All right, I was just teasing you. Later, I need you to record the information for the spirit beasts in the shop. From now on, all the document-related tasks will be your job." He began to use his spirit energy to supply the web-spraying beasts. They tried to absorb it bit by bit, and their bodies began to change. Smarty immediately noticed something was different and pointed at the beasts. "They're glowing with different lights." He nodded, his gaze highly focused. "They're about to evolve." The web-spraying beasts tilted their heads back and spat out silk. They used those dense threads to wrap themselves into giant cocoons. Smarty's eyes widened in amazement at the scene before him, 2 of them evolving at the same time. "When did you get so amazing?" Lin Yuan replied calmly, his hands still channeling spirit energy. Just like that ironhorn rhino, they were already in a state awaiting evolution. Unfortunately, they were unexpectedly and severely injured. Once their life force was replenished, evolution was a natural next step. 2 hours passed. The 2 web-spraying beasts broke out of their cocoons one after another. One followed the atavistic evolution path. Its exclusive trait is virulent poison, making its body, including its spider silk, extremely toxic. The other one followed the mutated spiritual evolution path, with the exclusive trait of adhesive silk. The enhanced stickiness of its silk makes its control abilities much stronger. Smarty exclaimed in amazement. "They're completely different evolution paths again." Lin Yuan smiled, satisfied with the results. "I didn't expect Mr. Young to have laid such a good foundation for them." Smarty tilted his head and asked about the next step. "So, are we going to sell them?" "I've already registered the shop on StarWeb." Lin Yuan started up the stairs, gesturing as he went. "Is that so? Let's go take a look." Seeing the words, "Please enter shop name," appear on the screen, he immediately frowned in confusion. "Why do I still have to enter a name?" He shrugged, explaining like a true expert. "I left that part on purpose, just so you could feel like you're participating." Lin Yuan walked over to the keyboard and quickly typed a line of text for the shop name. Purchase is Gain Spirit Beast Shop. Username, Old Lin of the Deep Mountains. Smarty looked at the shop name that appeared and couldn't help but sigh in exasperation. The shop I worked so hard to register. Why did you give it such a tacky name? Lin Yuan nonchalantly explained his philosophy. Purchase is gain, buying is no scam. Simple, easy to understand, flows well, and easy to remember. I think it's great. He let out a long sigh, having fiddled with the settings for half the day. Is the StarWeb receiver set up yet? We still have to test the StarWeb card after that. He petted the bristling Smarty to soothe him. Don't rush, it's almost ready, almost ready. After this, we just need to scan this, and we're done. With the card model, a hazy confirmation space appeared around Lin Yuan. Genius cheered with delight. This scanning effect is so cool. The potted plants in the room and the group of web-spitting beasts were also scanned into the database one by one. Genius wondered, do we have to scan the web-spitting beasts too? Lin Yuan spoke with a hidden meaning, pointing at 2 empty cocoons. These 2 are the most important things of all. Also, watch this move. Where do you think you're going? It covered its eyes and yelped. Hey, that's a sneak attack. The surrounding space suddenly changed, shifting unpredictably, leaving Genius utterly astonished. Where is this place? Lin Yuan laughed excitedly, spreading his arms to introduce it. This is the storefront for our shop in the Star Web. Otherwise, did you think all those complicated registration procedures were just for a normal online store? Genius couldn't stop marveling, running and jumping everywhere. It's huge. It must be twice the size of our house. He nodded in confirmation. Of course, although the Star Web is a world made entirely of data, this data represents things that actually exist. They're just being shown here in the form of a simulated projection. Genius looked around the completely empty room and then asked, so why didn't any of the decorations from our house get transferred here? Lin Yuan scratched his cheek and laughed awkwardly. Well, that's because to get decorations on the Star Web, you have to spend more money. After hearing that, Genius let out a long sigh. What a realistic reason. He looked at the system panel and nodded as if he understood. So that's how it is. This means we can put up the menu items now. How about we go for a stroll in the Star Web's community area? As he spoke, he pressed the teleport button, and the scenery around them quickly changed. Lin Yuan shouted when he saw the cat start to run wild. Genius, don't run around. Genius's attention was now completely focused on a fat cow grazing by the roadside. In its eyes, that was at least 80 meals of fragrant braised pork. Seeing the sign for a nearby furniture store, it waved him over. Lin Yuan, look over here. Lin Yuan rubbed his chin, nodding thoughtfully. A furniture store is a good idea. Let's see if we can buy some furniture for the shop. As the 2 of them stepped inside, an agile service robot quickly approached to greet them. Hello, may I ask what kind of furniture you require? Genius's eyes widened as it exclaimed with excitement. That big chunk of iron is talking, he patiently explained to his country bumpkin of a spirit beast. This is an artificial intelligence robot. I'd like to buy 2 flower stands and a counter that's 1.5 meters high. The robot replied in a monotonous voice. Very well, please follow me. It led them to a display area with some simple shelves. After seeing the listed price, Lin Yuan was so shocked his jaw dropped. Looks like we won't be buying this for now. Even if you have money in the real world, you don't spend it like this. Genius, standing beside him, was just as resigned, muttering its calculations. If I just used a bit of my power, it's not like I couldn't make them. Out of options, Lin Yuan had to ask for the cheapest item. Excuse me, do you have any chairs? The cheapest kind will do. The robot immediately pointed them in another direction. Yes, we do. This way, please. He thought to himself, we should at least buy a chair, right? That way, when customers come, they'll have a convenient place to sit and rest. However, even the simple little chair in front of them was tagged with a terrifyingly expensive price of 15,000 Federation coins. Genius angrily made a counteroffer to the robot. 1,000 Federation coins, tops. Otherwise, we're not buying. The robot replied mechanically and coldly, I'm sorry. This action is beyond the scope of my authority. Genius climbed onto Lin Yuan's shoulder and sat down, sighing dejectedly. So haggling doesn't even work. He finally gave up in the face of these outrageous prices. Forget it. It's a robot. It's not your fault. Let's go check out the bookstore. Genius tilted its head, puzzled. What are we going to a bookstore for? Lin Yuan replied with a determined look. Didn't I say I plan to take the creator exam? We're going to buy textbooks, of course. Looking around the vast library filled with endless books, Lin Yuan felt dizzy and overwhelmed. There are so many. I'm leaving it to you. Genius began to use its superhuman intellect to list the necessary books. What are spiritual materials? Analysis of spiritual materials. Appraisal of rare spiritual materials. Basic spiritual materials illustrated guide. Intermediate spiritual materials illustrated guide. Secrets to observing spirit beasts. Building the knowledge system of a novice scholar. The book-selling robot quickly confirmed the order information. Based on your request, the total is 327 books, with a complimentary index. Would you like them to be packaged? Lin Yuan held his payment card out to it. Please help me package them into a knowledge chip and send it to this address. The robot bowed respectfully and replied, Very well. Please sign the confidentiality agreement and promise not to allow anyone other than relatives to use it. Otherwise, the Creators Association will hold you responsible for leaking the information. Lin Yuan nodded and began to check his system panel again. Lin Yuan flashed a bright smile, dusting off his hands with satisfaction. All right, job's done. Time to go home. These artificial intelligence robots are really something. We should consider buying one to manage the shop. In the blink of an eye, the two of them were teleported away. They teleported back to the real world. But just then, an uninvited guest suddenly appeared in the shop. The moment the young girl saw them materialize out of thin air, she immediately asked, teleporting inside the shop, Are you the owner of this place, mister? Before Lin Yuan could even answer, she continued to complain in a sulky tone. Seriously, your shop doesn't even have an AI robot. I had to just stand here waiting like an idiot, with no idea when you'd be back. Lin Yuan smiled placatingly, trying to be as polite as possible. I'm sorry, this little shop just opened today. We haven't had time to set up an AI robot yet. He silently sized her up. This kid looks like she's just a student, but why does she have such a stuck-up attitude? The girl didn't seem to like beating around the bush and got straight to the point. So, uncle, how much are these 2 spiders? Lin Yuan was stunned. He pointed to his own nose with a look of disbelief. Uncle? The girl didn't seem to notice his confusion at all and stuck with that form of address. Uncle, tell me about these 2 spiders and give me the price, but don't quote me something too high. This shop is called Purchase Without Losses, after all. Beside him, Genius couldn't help but clutch its stomach and roll on the floor laughing when it heard what she called its master. Uncle Lin Yuan tried to suppress his hurt feelings, forcing a smile as he warmly introduced his goods. This slightly smaller web-spraying beast with slender legs has awakened the exclusive characteristic of sticky spider silk. After hearing this, her eyes widened in surprise. What? So it's not poisonous? Lin Yuan patiently explained further. If you want poison, this larger, green-glowing web-spraying beast has the exclusive characteristic of potent venom. While gesturing enthusiastically during his introduction, he accidentally bumped into the girl, causing her to fall to the ground. The unexpected accident knocked the bee-shaped hat off her head, revealing a shiny, bald head. She complained while rubbing her head, Uncle, why is the floor in your shop so hard? Lin Yuan stared at her bald head, completely petrified. No hair, and it was so shiny. It looked exactly like a soy sauce egg. He quickly told himself, No, I can't make fun of her. I'm a professionally trained shop owner. I have to maintain my professional ethics. I have to hold it in. But while he was using all his willpower to suppress his urge to joke, Genius beside him innocently blurted out what they were both thinking. Soy sauce egg. Only then did the girl realize in a panic that her hat had fallen off. She quickly clutched her head and screamed in embarrassment. Seeing this, Lin Yuan bowed repeatedly with a look of sincere apology. I'm sorry. My 100 questions beast was in the wrong. Genius, apologize now. Genius knew it had misspoken and quickly drooped its ears. I'm sorry. I spoke without thinking. The girl cleared her throat a few times to dispel the awkward atmosphere and then explained. First, I want to make something clear. I was injured by the bite of a ghost shadow hair-stabbing beast, and this is the side effect. It'll grow back in a few months. I wasn't born like this, and it's definitely not some soy sauce egg. Hearing that name, Lin Yuan frowned in thought. Ghost shadow hair-stabbing beast. I feel like I've heard that somewhere before, but I can't quite remember where. Genius muttered under its breath. It just looks a lot like one. Ignoring the trivial side chatter, Lin Yuan brought her back to the main topic of the sale. So, do you happen to really like spider-type spirit creatures? As soon as he finished the question, she reacted violently, her whole body trembling with rage. What the hell? She gritted her teeth and shouted, Absolutely not. I don't like spider-type spirit creatures at all. Who would like those big, hairy insects? Lin Yuan was surprised and quickly asked again, Then why are you looking for a spider-type spirit creature? And even exposing yourself to dangers like that? Ghost shadow hair-stabbing beast? Her voice dropped as she answered sadly. Because my compatibility direction is with spider-type spirit creatures. It finally dawned on Lin Yuan. So, that's how it is. This kind of twisted compatibility really exists in the world. The person who hates spiders the most can only form a contract with a spider. But looking at it from another angle, the spider species is an extremely diverse system of spirit creatures. This girl's development path is therefore wide open, especially since she was safely treated after encountering a ghost shadow hair-stabbing beast. That proves her family background is extraordinary. This is a genuine, real-life money-printing machine. He thought to himself, if I were in that situation, I would definitely suggest she find a place to be buried and get it over with. I really would. Feeling disappointed because she couldn't find anything she liked, she waved her hand and turned to leave. No good. There's nothing I need here. Lin Yuan hurriedly ran after his potential customer to stop her. Wait. Are neither of them good enough? For combat, control, and poison are the hot types right now. Plus, they both have exclusive characteristics. She shook her head and clicked her tongue in disapproval. No good, no good. The exclusive characteristics of these two web-spraying beasts are too weak. She wants to form a contract with a spider-type spirit beast that has strong control abilities. Lin Yuan frowned, feeling helpless in the face of such a ridiculously high demand. Are these two weak? She pointed at him, her expression furious and resolute. It has nothing to do with whether these two are strong or weak. I just want to find a spitting web spider with the exclusive trait of transparent silk. I'm even willing to go the custom route and buy a few epic-grade elite ones. Lin Yuan tried to swallow his surprise, thinking to himself, this kid is loaded and has a personality to match. Transparent silk is an extremely rare exclusive trait. Even with customization, if you're unlucky, you could go through dozens of them and still not get it. But wait, if it's me, with Mobius's ability, I might actually be able to do it. Finally, Lin Yuan spoke up, testing the waters. His tone was full of confidence. If you want to customize epic-grade spitting web spiders, I have a way. How many do you want? She narrowed her eyes, looking suspicious and annoyed. Mister, do you think I'm some cute, naive girl who's easy to fool? Or do you think I'll trust you just because you're a little handsome? Lin Yuan gritted his teeth in frustration, cursing inwardly. Who's trying to fool you? This girl is really something else. Wait, did she just call me handsome? I'm definitely taking this order. It's definitely not because she's a sweet talker. It's because I don't want to see a sick girl continue to struggle everywhere she goes. I'm just too kind. With that thought, he waved his hand dismissively and pretended to turn and leave. Well then, suit yourself. Maybe if you search through a few hundred stores, you'll find the spider you're looking for. She froze on the spot, not expecting Lin Yuan's attitude to be so firm and indifferent. Seeing this, Smarty stuck out its tongue teasingly. Let's go. Let's go. Seeing the shopkeeper wasn't interested, she frantically ran over and tugged on Lin Yuan's sleeve. Wait! He turned his head and frowned. Weren't you the one who didn't trust me? She hesitated, her tone softening considerably. You really have a way? Lin Yuan stubbornly shrugged, continuing his psychological game. If you don't trust me, then there's no way. Her attitude became much more conciliatory and pleading. How about we add each other as friends on the star web first? If you can customize the spitting web spiders, just let me know, and I'll come buy them. Lin Yuan smirked inwardly. This tactic of playing hard to get really works like a charm. I have plenty of experience dealing with this type of customer. Outwardly, however, he maintained a calm and cold demeanor. No need. If you want to buy something, just come to the store. She blinked her eyes coquettishly, playing the cute card. Oh, come on, don't be like that. Mister, don't be angry anymore. I just saw that this shop doesn't even have any decorations, so I was afraid of getting scammed. Let's just add each other. If you can customize them, I promise I won't haggle on the price. In the end, Lin Yuan couldn't stand her pleading any longer and gave in. All right, stop blinking. Let's add each other first. They both took out their star web cards and tapped them together to exchange information. She looked at the name that appeared on her screen and giggled. Deep Mountain Old Lin. What a funny name. Looking at the girl's name, Stream in the Clouds, Lin Yuan clicked his tongue and playfully mispronounced it to tease her. Silly stream. Isn't that a type of fish that lives in streams in the clouds? She misheard it as the slang word for idiot and immediately snapped in anger. What? Did you just call me silly? He immediately denied it with an innocent look on his face. No, I said. Stream in the clouds, she insisted, her face flushing red. No, I heard you. You definitely called me silly. Lin Yuan immediately changed the subject, putting on the offended air of a slighted craftsman. Hey, I'm the one who's going to customize your spitting web spiders. Not to be outdone, she yelled back. Give me a break. I'm the important customer who's going to pay you. A moment later, a notification sound chimed from Lin Yuan's phone. You have received 10 radiance coins. She put her hands on her hips and tilted her chin up. Payment sent. I'll be waiting for your good news. He gritted his teeth in annoyance as he watched her figure disappear. This kid is so rich and arrogant. 2 radiance coins for 1 custom, spitting web spider. She paid the full deposit for 5 of them without even blinking. Smarty suddenly leaped onto Lin Yuan's head, its eyes shining brightly as it exclaimed, "That's so much money. Does this mean we'll never be short on cash again?" Yin Yin has always wanted a new record player and speaker set. Lin Yuan clicked his tongue and shook his head. In reality, I'm afraid it's a bit more complicated than that, because this is the customer's full deposit. The money won't be transferred to our account until we complete her customization request. Until then, it's held in escrow by the Starweb government. Still, with the money Mr. Yang gave us this morning, our capital is pretty healthy. He started calculating the base cost of the spitting web spiders. Let's see the shop's savings. It went from 3.4 radiance coins down to 2.4 radiance coins. Lin Yuan suddenly gasped when he realized the cost. The cost for 5 elite-grade spitting web spiders is 1 whole radiance coin. Beside him, Smarty's jaw dropped in shock. How did a third of it disappear, just like that? He put on a helpless expression and sighed. The 3.3 radiance coins Mr. Yang gave us weren't even in my pocket for long. If we go the normal cultivation route, I can't even imagine how much more money we'll have to spend on spiritual materials. No wonder Soy Sauce Egg was so determined to splash out 10 radiance dollars like that. Thong Min, sitting to one side, asked dejectedly, "Spending money like this, can our little shop on the Star Web really break even?" Lin Yuan thought for a moment before reassuring him. "Now that we've bought an AI robot for the store, we don't have to worry so much. But we really do need to save up. If we want to expand the storefront, who knows how much more money we'll have to spend." Hearing this, Thong Min perked up a bit. "Really? Not a single customer showed up before we left. Besides, that old robot you were looking at seemed kinda dumb." Lin Yuan, his pride stung, snapped, "Hey, look on the bright side. As long as we handle Soy Sauce Egg's order well, we'll have a huge source of capital for the future, at the very least." As he climbed the stairs, Thong Min sighed wearily. "Well, I'm off to find Yin Yin to play with." Lin Yuan stood at the bottom of the stairs, waving confidently. "Don't worry, I'll make us some money in no time." "All right, let's go." Once he was alone, Lin Yuan called out softly in his mind, Little O, are you there? It's about your next spirit-locking fae." Mobius slowly materialized in the dimension it had created for itself. A voice echoed in his head, "Lin Yuan, this won't do. You still need to be more frugal with your spending. Our capital is limited right now. We must control it strictly." Lin Yuan smirked, his eyes filled with determination. "Money is important, of course, but increasing my own strength is how I'll be able to earn it faster and in greater quantities. Right, Little O? Regarding your next spirit-locking fae, I've been thinking about it for a few days, and I decided I should ask for your opinion." Mobius nodded in agreement, gesturing for him to speak. Lin Yuan's voice dropped, filled with seriousness as he uttered 4 words. "Spirit-absorbing goldfish." A moment later, as Lin Yuan strolled through the virtual streets of the Star Web, he thought back on their conversation. He hadn't expected Little O to be so agreeable. Mobius had given him a few warnings first. A spirit-absorbing goldfish is certainly possible. As long as you have no issues awakening it, I have no objections. But you should know that due to the unique nature of the spirit-absorbing goldfish, evolving it requires 10 times the amount of spiritual energy compared to other fays of the same grade. Lin Yuan recalled how calmly he had replied, "That's not a problem, although I can't be 100% certain. I can sense that when my spiritual power is weak, you force yourself to compress your own to protect me. So, finding a way for you to recover quickly, that's naturally my responsibility." Seeing the determination in his eyes, Mobius had felt somewhat reassured. Then, "It's all up to you." Back in the present, he quickly opened his system interface. First, let's test out the Starweb's search function. The moment he clicked search, the surrounding scenery changed in a dizzying flash. This was no longer an ordinary street. Everything was bathed in a brilliant, hazy aura, and schools of spirit fish swam freely through the air. Seeing this, Lin Yuan couldn't help but marvel. This is incredible. With just a simple search, the stores appear right beside you. It's like an entire street dedicated to selling spirit-absorbing goldfish. But most of these are just normal grade. It'd be great if I could find an elite grade one. With that thought, he looked down at his system interface again, intending to narrow the search parameters and select the highest level storefront directly. Will this work? Following the prompt, he was instantly transported in front of an imposing store. Whoa, this storefront is massive. Lin Yuan walked in without hesitation. Inside, each display pillar held a single, distinct item. He scanned the space, silently estimating it to be around 800 square meters. It felt like the owner had even intentionally compressed the space a bit for a more efficient layout. The products are arranged closely, and they even have special introduction interfaces. This design is definitely worth studying. Just then, a gentle, clear voice spoke up beside him. Excuse me, is there something you're looking for? I can show you whatever you'd like to buy. My employees are off today, so please forgive me if my service is lacking in any way. The speaker was a beautiful young woman in a neat and tidy outfit, looking at him with a friendly smile. This was the store's owner, Zhou Jiaxin. Lin Yuan breathed a sigh of relief the moment he saw her. Oh, so it's not an AI robot. That's a relief. He scratched his head, a bit embarrassed, and said in a low voice, I'd like to buy a spirit-absorbing goldfish. Zhou Jiaxin quickly gestured for him to follow and said enthusiastically, I understand. Right this way, please. As she walked, she carefully introduced each type to him. The small ones in this tank are all normal grade. Regardless of the specific breed, they all cost 0.5 radiance dollars. That red one, which is more than double the size of the others, is an elite grade spirit-absorbing goldfish. That one costs 5 radiance dollars. Standing nearby, Lin Yuan couldn't help but marvel to himself. It really lives up to its name as a fae that can rapidly restore spiritual energy. Just by getting close, I can feel the surrounding atmosphere has become significantly denser, but it really is expensive. A normal grade spirit-sucking goldfish is even more expensive than an elite grade web-spitting spider. It seems like buying an elite grade one directly is impossible with my current funds. Seeing he was still hesitating, Zhou Jiaxin sincerely added, the quality of these spirit-sucking goldfish isn't considered top tier either. If the quality were a bit better, they could sell for at least 7 radiance dollars or more. However, the price for normal grade is the same, regardless of quality. After all, this thing is very difficult to evolve. No creation master would be willing to take on that kind of order. Lin Yuan replied a bit awkwardly, slowly. Thank you for the advice, ma'am. Zhou Jiaxin kept her warm smile and waved her hand friendly. Don't be so stiff. Just call me Sister Jin. In the end, which spirit-sucking goldfish you choose depends on your own eye for quality, right? Lin Yuan walked right up to the fish tank and replied softly, I understand. He carefully examined each goldfish. He began to silently assess the breakthrough potential of each one. From a training perspective, the dragon eye type should be the best choice. Once it undergoes atavistic evolution and awakens its dragon bloodline, it'll be like a carp leaping over the dragon gate. But can I really get as lucky as I did when I evolved the iron-horned rhinoceros? Who cares? He told himself. No matter what, I have to test it. I need to see if the spirit lock space can actually accelerate the evolution of the spirit-sucking goldfish. If it succeeds, my shop will have its first flagship product. After a moment of consideration, he immediately pointed at a pure black, slightly ugly-looking goldfish. He said decisively, I choose you. Even the goldfish itself seemed surprised. It stared at him with wide eyes, unable to believe someone would actually pick it. Zhou Jiaxin quickly processed the order and asked with a smile, Do you need anything else? He looked around, suddenly remembering something. It seems I still need to test the upper limit of the spirit chi capacity of the water in the spirit lock space. In that case, he turned decisively to the shopkeeper and said, Then I'll take some energy ore as well. Zhou Jiaxin was delighted and asked, How many kilograms do you want? There's a discount if you buy in bulk, 500 Federation dollars per kilogram. Without a moment's hesitation, Lin Yuan uttered a massive number that stunned her. Then, let's start with 2,000 kilograms. The moment shopkeeper Zhou Jiaxin heard that huge number, she was completely floored. The hand holding the scoop trembled, causing it to fall to the ground with a clatter. 2,000 kilograms. Then, Lin Yuan quickly took out a card and suggested with a pleasant smile, I can just pay by card, right? Zhou Jiaxin immediately snapped out of her initial shock, resuming her warm, professional attitude. Yes. And we'll use the ostrich logistics service to deliver it to your registered address. She began to calculate in her head. An order this large. He must be a big shot. Dragon eyes, energy ore, could it be? Thinking of this, she quickly turned to another product and enthusiastically recommended it. Oh, right. If you're thinking about raising the spirit-sucking goldfish, our little shop recommends clamshells. They're a bit pricey, but they're incredibly effective at promoting a phase evolution. Hearing this, Lin Yuan could only politely decline. Okay. Thank you, Sister Shin. That's very thoughtful of you." In reality, he was crying internally because his wallet was completely empty. 0.9 Radiance dollars had just flown out of his pocket in an instant, taking his last bit of Radiance currency with it. This should be enough to feed the spirit-sucking goldfish for a few months, right? Seeing this was a huge sale, Chuchchi immediately seized the opportunity. She made an attractive suggestion. "Let's add each other on StarWeb. Next time you need anything, you can just tell me directly. As long as you can pay the price, I think I can basically get you anything you need." When Lin Yuan heard this, he was overjoyed. "Of course, that would be an honor. That's great." Some rare spiritual ingredients were always in short supply. Being able to place a direct order would be much more convenient. Thinking of this, he quickly spoke up to test the waters. "Sister Shin, in a little while, I'll want." Before he could finish his sentence, she keenly grasped his meaning. "You'll need more energy ore, clamshells, and a few more spirit-sucking goldfish, right?" Lin Yuan waved his hands frantically in front of him, correcting her request. "Yes, but for the energy ore, I only need the low-quality kind." Chuchchi was a bit surprised, but still happily agreed. "Just the low-quality kind is fine," she thought to herself. The higher the grade of energy ore, the purer the spirit chi inside. Low-quality ore can only be used to nurture normal grade or elite grade phase. But to consume such a large amount, this must be a large-scale Fey training base. The more she thought about it, the brighter the smile on her face became. Heaven helps those who help themselves. If I can secure this client, then the orders will just keep rolling in. My shop's competitive edge is more than enough to keep him. Oh, right. As if remembering something important, she turned back with a warm smile and made another offer. "Sir, our shop also has a special service for returning customers. I wonder if you'd be interested?" Lin Yuan didn't miss the opportunity. He urged. "Well then, Miss Han, go ahead and tell me." Chuchchi Han lowered her voice, speaking with the familiar, secretive tone of a seasoned shopkeeper. "Not only can the shop take in some of the spirit creatures sold off by old customers, but we can also provide heavily injured ones. These are special spiritual materials, guaranteed to be fresh." Lin Yuan's eyes immediately lit up. This was too good of a deal. "Really? So when will the next shipment arrive?" Chuchchi Han held up 3 fingers and replied cheerfully. 3 weeks from now. If there are any changes, I'll let you know on the StarWeb." 3 weeks? By then, I should have already made my initial investment back. That's very promising. Lin Yuan was about to head out the door, but he turned back and looked at her with a puzzled expression. "Miss Han, I've been here for a while now. Why hasn't the shop had any business this whole time? A place this good should be bustling with customers, shouldn't it?" Chuchchi Han asked back, a little surprised, as if he'd just emerged from the wilderness. "You don't know? Today's the 100 sequence ranking match, and it's being held at the radiant celestial stairway of the Star Pagoda. That's why most people, whether they're shop staff or customers, have gone there to watch the match." Hearing this, Lin Yuan's interest was piqued. "The sequence members. Are they from the capital's 100 sequence?" Chuchchi Han patiently explained. "No. It's a level above that. It's the Radiance 100 of the Radiance Federation." He let out an "oh" of admiration, but his expression remained strangely calm. "The Radiance 100, huh?" Right after, he quickly said his goodbyes. "Miss Han, I'll be leaving now." Chuchchi Han waved cheerfully back. "All right, your order will be delivered later." The moment he stepped out of the shop, Lin Yuan immediately pulled out his phone to look up the match details. "You've got to be kidding me. The match has already started? Are there only nosebleed seats left? I've got to hurry." As he walked, he wondered to himself with growing anticipation. This was really exciting. What would a match between the strongest spirit chi professionals of the Radiance Federation's younger generation be like? Just how far behind them am I? As he arrived outside the arena, he could already hear the deafening cheers of rabid fans echoing from within. "White Devil for the win. Undying Fire is the strongest." Lin Yuan struggled up several long flights of stairs, complaining in frustration. "We're supposed to be on the StarWeb, so why is there a section where you still have to physically climb stairs? The match has already started." Luckily, there's no limit on the number of high-stand tickets. All around him, the cheers roared like crashing waves, showing no signs of letting up. "Undying fire, undying fire, undying fire. White devil, white devil, white devil." As soon as he squeezed into a spot, he noticed a fence-sitter who was screaming more passionately than anyone else in the stands. "Go, Lord White Devil. Lord Undying Fire will definitely win." He pouted, thinking to himself, why are they cheering for both sides? Who are they even rooting for? The person was wearing a B-shaped hat, holding a pair of binoculars, and still shouting at the top of their lungs. "Go, Lord White Devil. Lord Undying Fire will definitely win." Just then, she suddenly turned her head, peered at him through her binoculars, and made a disparaging remark. Wow, your face is huge, mister. Lin Yuan gave her a weary look and said helplessly, you could at least put the binoculars down first, you know. The girl didn't seem to pay him much mind, just giving him a quick glance before excitedly turning her attention back to the arena. It was as if she was afraid she'd miss something important if she looked away for even a second. There's no rule that says you can't cheer for both sides, is there? I'll be happy no matter which of them wins. You get it? What about you, mister? Who are you rooting for? Lin Yuan scratched his head, flustered, and quickly gave a non-committal answer just to move on. Same as you, I'm rooting for both of them. The girl, whose username was Stream Flowing in the Clouds, heard she had found a kindred spirit, and immediately bounded over excitedly. Her eyes sparkled as she looked at him like she'd found a soulmate. That's great. Deep Mountain Old Lin. I didn't know you had such good taste. He gave a reluctant, perfunctory reply. Well, after all, both of them are very outstanding. He couldn't very well tell her that he actually had no idea who either of them was. An awkward silence suddenly fell between them as she was still tightly gripping his hand. Stream Flowing in the Clouds seemed to realize how over the top she'd been and immediately snatched her hand back, even making a show of contemptuously wiping it with a handkerchief. Lin Yuan was absolutely livid, wishing he could just smack her one. Weren't you the one who grabbed my hand first? She ignored him, took out another pair of binoculars, and offered them to him. Here, if you're going to support both of them, you can't afford to miss a single detail. Just listening to the commentary won't be enough. Lin Yuan relented and accepted them politely. Ah, thanks. This girl might be a little strange, but she doesn't seem like a bad person. He quickly adopted a serious expression and raised the binoculars to watch the fight below intently. It looks like the two opponents aren't the same type of combat professional. Those two plants look like they're healing-type spirit creatures. Hearing his observation, the girl sidled up to him again, the corners of her mouth curling into a smug smile. You've got a really good eye. Deep Mountain Old Lin, who do you think is going to win? He kept the binoculars raised, mumbling his thoughts as he watched. The one with the higher ranking probably has an advantage, right? Besides, both of their spirit creatures are already gold rank. Down in the arena, the short-haired girl snaps her fingers, launching a preemptive strike. Molten Spear. At her command, the massive bear beside her instantly summons a giant fireball. It hurls the fireball towards its opponent's spirit beast. But the girl on the other side isn't just going to sit there and take it. She quickly issues a counter command. Floating Snow Tree. Use Arctic Cold on Ice Soul Grass. Both spirit beasts are immediately enveloped in a thick layer of ice and snow, their bone-chilling aura pushing back against the opponent's fierce flames. The commentator excitedly shouts into the microphone, the floating snow tree dispels the flames. The lava bear's swift attack was ineffective. Unextinguished Flame grows angry, her fighting spirit surging, forming a defensive wall that's hard to break through. A nice thought. But today, I'm going to shatter that strategy. Then, she issues another decisive command. Lava Bear. Use Beam Assault and stop the floating snow tree's movements for me. Hearing the order, the lava bear charges forward like a tank, firing thousands of small fireballs that rain down on its opponent. Watching from high above, Lin Yuan can't help but exclaim in amazement, now that's a powerful offense. The girl beside him immediately chimes in, explaining with pride, of course it is. Lady Unextinguished Flame is a powerful offense-type spirit chi professional. Compared to a healer like Lady White Demon, she naturally has a much higher chance of winning. Hearing this, he turns to her with interest, waiting for more. The girl quickly adds, but you don't need to worry. When it comes to rankings, Lady White Demon is higher. The two contestants' information appears on the large screen. Name DJ, alias White Demon, ranked 18th. Name Anna, alias Unextinguished Flame, ranked 47th. Down in the arena, DJ immediately unleashes the power of the scepter in her hand, replenishing her spirit's life force. The commentator roars with excitement again. DJ successfully heals the floating snow tree and is overwhelming the lava bear. On the other side, Unextinguished Flame remains quite composed, crossing her arms with a taunting look. This is getting good. I'm surprised, DJ. Even under such a fierce assault, you still have enough energy to save both of your spirit beasts. She remains incredibly confident, declaring loudly, but my attacks don't just come in one wave. The commentator is getting more and more worked up, giving a running commentary. Under the powerful assault of the two bears, the floating snow tree can only defend passively. Are the scales of victory starting to tip? Anna looks at her opponent, the corner of her mouth curling into an arrogant smirk. This battle of attrition has already lasted for quite a while. Your body's spirit chi is about to run out, isn't it? Observing from above, Lin Yuan is also somewhat surprised and worried. Even though she has a higher rank, Will a healer type always be at a disadvantage against a strong offense type? But unexpectedly, DJ doesn't waver at all. She calmly replies, her gaze sharp and cold. Anna, the gap between rank 18 and rank 47 isn't as simple as you imagine. As she finishes speaking, she waves her hand, releasing a healing spell on her spirit, Arctic Cold. Her eyes now turn as hard and bone-chillingly cold as her own icy power. Ice Soul Grass, Absolute Zero Seal. The moment the words leave her lips, the rampaging lava bear is instantly frozen solid on the spot. It turns into a giant block of ice. Anna raises a hand to shield her face from the cold wind, her brow furrowed in shock. To still be able to use such a large-scale move this deep into a fierce battle? Seeing such a spectacular turnaround, the commentator has already lost all emotional control. That's truly incredible. Both lava bears have been frozen, but the condition of the floating snow tree and ice soul grass isn't looking good either. Up in the high stands, Cloudstream says softly, a hint of sadness in her voice. Lady White Demon's counterattack has pretty much ended Lady Unextinguished Flame's powerful offensive, but that kind of seal will be broken soon enough. When that happens, Lady Unextinguished Flame will launch her own counterattack. This time, Lin Yuan thoughtfully offers a different opinion. It's not that simple. Don't forget, the White Demon is a healer. Down below, DJ isn't finished yet. She clasps her hands in front of her chest, softly murmuring an incantation, reviving Phoenix Butterfly. Use Wings of Revival. Instantly, the ice soul grass and floating snow tree are bathed in a restorative light. Their life force returns in a massive surge, as if they were never injured. Even the commentator is utterly stunned, crying out, "I can't believe it!" With just a wave of her hand, their wounds have healed. The entire stadium is shocked to its feet by this display. Although their wounds might not be 100% healed, they have clearly recovered their peak fighting ability. Anna struggles to maintain her confident demeanor, saying through gritted teeth, "You really live up to your name, DJ, but I will be the one who wins." As soon as she finishes speaking, the lava bear roars, shattering the ice that binds it and rising to its feet. A savage aura erupts from it, forcing both of DJ's spirits to brace themselves against the pressure. It's a suppression of levels, that flowing flame giant bear. It's already at the platinum tier. DJ rests her scepter on the ice, smiling as she praises her opponent. "Anna, I never expected you to have improved so much." But as she says this, her smile turns mysterious. Suddenly, tens of thousands of brilliant red butterflies appear. Appearing from the void, they swarmed around her like a storm of butterflies. Anna's eyes were filled with determination as she stood beside her spirit beast and shouted, "Whatever move you're planning, it won't be enough to break through my flowing flame burst, a perfect fusion of offense and defense. This move was specially trained to defeat you." DJ just casually waved her hand, giving the signal. Instantly, the red butterflies shot through the air like tens of thousands of fiery arrows, aiming straight for the lava bear and piercing right through it. It roared in agony before crashing to the ground, defeated. Anna had lost completely. She collapsed to her knees in despair, unable to believe her eyes. The commentator quickly announced the results, his voice echoing throughout the arena. The winner is clear. The victor is the White Devil. Lady White Devil has defeated Lady Undying Fire, Anna, earning another glorious rising star. Anna lowered her head, bitterly admitting defeat. "I can't believe your reviving Phoenix Butterfly could evolve into a fantasy grade while still at gold rank. I have no complaints about this loss." DJ's cold, battle-focused expression softened, replaced by her usual gentle, bright smile. She extended a hand to her opponent as a sign of respect. "It's not the reviving Phoenix Butterfly. The one that evolved into a fantasy grade is the Calamity Phoenix Butterfly." She took Anna's hand and pulled her up, comforting her. "Come on, cheer up. The audience is still watching." The stands erupted once more with thunderous chants. "White Devil! White Devil! White Devil! Undying Fire! Undying Fire! Undying Fire!" Up in the high stands, Cloudstream wouldn't stop shaking him by the shoulders. So hard he thought his neck would break. She screamed with excitement, flailing her arms and legs wildly. Lady White Devil is so cool, and even though Lady Undying Fire lost, she's still worthy of being the woman who can control the power of a bear. Insanely cool. Lin Yuan glanced down at the arena floor, his heart filled with admiration. They're incredible. Compared to this, Chuchchi's school match was just child's play. DJ, Anna, this is what peak combat power looks like. Is this the peak combat power of the Radiant Federation's younger generation? After the match ended, the girl, Cloudstream, quickly said goodbye to him. Before leaving, she didn't forget to turn back and give him a thorough reminder. "Well then, see you later, old Lin of the Deep Mountains. Don't forget about my web-spraying spiders. And don't you dare be lazy. Lin Yuan gave a lazy reply just to get it over with. I know. Even after logging out of the Star Web and returning to his room, the shocking images from the match were still playing in his mind like a slow-motion film. I can't believe fantasy grades are that strong. A gold rank healing type spirit beast was able to jump ranks and defeat a platinum rank combat type. Lin Yuan mumbled to himself, analyzing. That rune must be the key that allows a spirit beast to evolve into a fantasy grade. It's compatible with healing type spirit beasts. But at this thought, his shoulders slumped and his face filled with disappointment. Right now, the only healing type spirit beast I have is Lily. He opened the system interface and let out a long sigh. I'm getting ahead of myself. Just then, a strange sound echoed from his room lyrics that felt like a punch to the ears. The starry sky scatters a lonely, silent light, protecting a fragile hope. Stumbling along the path, unable to see the distance, yet refusing to let go of the desire deep within my heart, he quickly went upstairs, stood at his doorway, and looked in with a frown. What are you doing? I could hear you all the way downstairs. Yin Yin and Genius had their heads huddled together, and the moment they heard his voice, they jumped in alarm, like they'd been caught doing something wrong. Lin Yuan, why didn't you knock? Lin Yuan looked disapprovingly at the two little troublemakers messing around in his room. This is my room. Why would I need to knock? What are you two hiding from me? Genius broke out in a cold sweat, turning to him and stammering out an excuse. It's nothing. Yin Yin is just practicing her singing. I was finding some sheet music for her. Lin Yuan gave them a suspicious look but decided to let it go. He casually stroked the cat's head and said softly, All right, move over. I need to look up some information. Genius reluctantly moved aside, giving up the computer. Yin Yin hovered over the cat's head, carefully whispering to her partner in crime. Lin Yuan didn't find out just now, right? Genius, living up to his name, covered his mouth and whispered confidently to his friend. It's fine. I turned off the computer quickly. And besides, I'm the one who secretly created your account. Lin Yuan has no idea. After a period of focused research, he found a crucial piece of information. For a bronze rank spirit beast to reach legend quality, it needs at least C rank spirit chi. With that in mind, he made a firm decision. In that case, I'll just put these two web-spraying spiders up on the auction site. They should be able to sell for a high price. Suddenly, the doorbell rang downstairs, ding-dong, forcing him to stop his train of thought. He got up and went downstairs. The moment the delivery man saw him, he flashed a cheerful, corporate smile and rattled off a long spiel. Hello, this is Ostrich Logistics. Courier number 457 has delivered the item you ordered from the Star Web to your location on schedule. Please sign here to confirm receipt. Lin Yuan suddenly remembered the item he had ordered from Chu Jiaxin's store. He nodded and replied, Yeah, okay. The man who had been so pleasant with the customer just a second ago turned to his colleague a second later with a completely different expression, his tone now that of someone bullying a rookie. Newbie, hurry up and bring the precious item over here. Hearing the order, the girl immediately scrambled to get to work. Yes, sir. Clinging to his shoulder, Thong Min tilted its head and asked curiously, A precious item? Lin Yuan replied softly, his eyes gleaming with anticipation. It's for the future development of the shop. Just then, the girl struggled over with two large boxes, panting heavily but still managing a cheerful greeting. Here it is. Hello, customer. My name is Aneng. Ah, no, I'm the new delivery agent, number 3451. Stacked on top of the second box was the very same golden fish he had just picked out at the store. Seeing the boxes teetering precariously before them, about to topple over, their faces paled with worry. That's really dangerous. Here, let me do it. As soon as the words were out, the off-balance box immediately started to fall. The small fish tank perched on top also slid off in a freefall. Thong Min reacted with lightning speed, leaping up and stretching out its paws to catch it. Oh no, I got it. As a result, half the water from the tank splashed right in its face, soaking its fur. But when it opened its eyes, it couldn't see the fish anywhere and let out a bewildered cry. Where's the fish? Luckily, high above, Yin Yin had deftly snatched the spirit-absorbing golden fish by its tail, successfully bringing it to safety. It's over here. Both Lin Yuan and Thong Min let out a simultaneous sigh of relief. That was close. The delivery man, having just had the scare of his life, turned and started yelling at the person next to him. You almost caused a huge disaster. The girl, flustered and clumsy, bowed her head in a sincere, panicked apology. I'm sorry. I'm really so sorry. But Lin Yuan wasn't the type to sweat the small stuff like this. He waved his hand with a dismissive smile. It's all right. Accidents happen. Meanwhile, after getting inside, Thong Min couldn't take its eyes off the golden fish. The little cat's mind was filled with images of fragrant, braised fish. Yin Yin flew around the pile of goods, looked everything over, and then exclaimed, "This is quite a spectacular haul." Thongmin turned its head to look at him, its eyes holding a hint of mockery. "With this much ore, are we planning on opening a farm?" Lin Yuan acted as if it were obvious, his tone full of confidence. "Expanding our scale means expanding our profits." He looked towards the door and added with admiration, "But man, that new delivery agent is really strong. She helped move 1,000 kilograms of energy ore into the house. Even if she's been using spirit energy for body tempering since she was a kid, that's still an exaggeration." Then he quickly waved his hands, shooing his two little rascals upstairs so he could focus on his work. "That's right, you two go play upstairs. I need to focus on my training." "Oh, right, Thongmin. The data from the knowledge chip is all saved on your StarNet account. Get to studying." Thongmin pouted, put an empty box on its head, and replied dejectedly, I know. I'm taking these cookies with me." Lin Yuan walked over to the fish tank and activated his radiant spirit skill. Next up, leveling. An hour later, after the spirit-absorbing golden fish had absorbed his pure spirit energy, it grew at an incredible rate, swelling to a size that no longer fit in its original small tank. He looked at it and lamented. Going from normal grade to elite grade consumes several times more spirit energy than Qing Luo did, but the amount of spirit energy it gives back to me is about the same. No wonder they say the spirit-absorbing golden fish is notoriously difficult to raise. Lin Yuan then looked at the huge pile of ore stacked on the floor, scratching his head and thought, how am I going to move this much ore into the radiant spirit space? Very quickly, he came up with a solution. 2 days later, the golden fish was swimming freely in a vast spirit transformation pool. Mobius watched the little creature frolicking in the water, his voice tinged with self-pity. "I'm so envious. To be able to move around freely in a spirit transformation pool, this big, unlike me. Being alone is one thing, but I'm constantly being bothered by all sorts of strange things." Lin Yuan, who was busy hauling ore in a corner, heard his complaints and immediately retorted, "What are you talking about? Forget about helping me. For the past few days, I've been moving over 500 kilograms of ore all by myself." Hearing this, Mobius smirked, his tone full of justification. "Well, I am still in a spirit form, after all." Lin Yuan stopped, wiped the sweat from his forehead, and panted. "This is pretty much the limit. The concentration of spirit energy in the radiant spirit space is saturated. If I want to increase it further, I'll just have to wait until I advance another level." Mobius, beside him, voiced his agreement with that assessment. "That's right. As long as you can continue to evolve, the upper limit of the concentration will keep increasing. Right now, it's roughly 5 times higher than the outside world." The spirit-absorbing golden fish was indeed constantly absorbing the spirit energy in the space. Lin Yuan nodded as he watched the fish's explosive growth in just a few short days. After all, this was going to be the main product for his future shop. He rubbed his chin, his heart filled with anticipation. Still, it would be great if it could awaken its dragon bloodline. I even deliberately chose a dragon essence type. The moment Mobius heard him mention this, he immediately threw cold water on the idea. Doesn't that require dragon's blood? That stuff is expensive. Undeterred, he ran off and brought back a few strange boxes, placing them in front of him. That's right, the biggest problem right now is the lack of money. The only way is to quickly level up spirit beasts and profit from the difference. Mobius looked at these things curiously, asking with doubt, "What is it this time?" Lin Yuan placed his hand on the box, his eyes filled with ambition. "It's still the spitweb spider. The revenue from the elite grade blue patterned spider is pretty good, but I think we still need a more unique product." Hearing this, Mobius questioned the complicated process. "Then why go through the trouble of moving them in here to level them up?" Lin Yuan smirked slyly. "Because in the spirit locking space, the conversion rate of spirit energy is 5 times faster than in the outside world." He reached his hand out towards the spiders and began to activate the spirit locking ability. Very quickly, under the influence of the dense spirit energy, the spiders ascended to a new level. Upgraded to epic quality. Upgraded to epic quality. Upgraded to epic quality. He looked at the results before him, unable to contain his extreme joy. It's a success. Just raising the quality to epic grade can be done in a little over 2 hours here. In the outside world, it would take at least 10+ hours. Just then, the phone in his pocket suddenly vibrated. He opened it to see 2 transaction notifications for his 2 lovely spiders. As expected, the moment he saw the money, his eyes lit up like headlights. He had to auction these 2 off immediately. "Gotta hit the small targets first," Mobius reminded him dryly from behind. "You're not going to turn into a money grubber first, are you? But before he could finish celebrating, another notification popped up on his phone screen, making him pause. Notification: you have received a tip. Lord Zun Lin, 500 Federation coins. Please continue to work hard and stream every day. Lin Yuan frowned in confusion, wondering to himself, my Star Web store can receive tips from people? Could it be? The moment he considered the possibility, his face twisted in horror. He quickly dashed out and flew up the stairs. That strange sound reached his ears again, crystal clear this time. If you too were once stuck in yesterday, please believe that metamorphosis will continue in the deepest night. The brightest star will illuminate the years you break free from your cocoon. Lin Yuan burst into the room like a whirlwind, scaring the two little rebels so much their hair stood on end. He yelled, Genius, Chuchchi, what in the world are you two doing? Genius was still stubbornly trying to cover its tracks, flusteredly hiding things. We're studying. Oh really? Then I'll be the judge of that. Furious, he decisively pushed the two troublemakers aside. They were weakly shoved away, still crying out their innocence. Don't. On the computer screen was a live stream interface. The main character was a female streamer holding a mic, who was actually Chuchchi. The screen was also filled with a dense, scrolling wall of comments. Does a voice this beautiful really exist in the world? It's like an angel singing. This girl is so beautiful. I'm so moved. With a voice like that, she must be gorgeous. So good. Did you write that last song yourself? I searched for the lyrics on Star Web, but couldn't find them. The streamer is an amazing singer. Just sent a gift. Why is our girl hiding her face with a picture? Don't all the pretty streamers show their faces? Reading this, Lin Yuan was completely frozen solid, stunned into silence. A pretty streamer. As expected, after Lin Yuan found out, he gave the two little devils a proper scolding and confiscated the Dreamy Finch Chime live stream account. If we didn't share an income and expense system, I would have never known you two were building a career behind my back. Chuchchi was still stubbornly arguing back, even praising itself. It's a nice name though. Chuchchi likes it. Genius came up with Dreamy Finch Chime. He stood before them with his arms crossed, scolding them in a low voice. And you're proud of it? Besides, if you're not going to show your face, why would you even choose the beauty streamer category? Chuchchi was very honest and sold out its partner completely. Genius said that's how you create a differentiated gap within the same category. The moment he heard that, he shot a glare at the black cat that was stealthily trying to sneak away. Genius. It was holding a cup of water, and after hearing its partner's words, it couldn't even swallow, choking and sputtering. I have to study every day, and I get tired after a few hours. I might as well give that time to Chuchchi so it can be used effectively, right? Although Lin Yuan felt a flash of dissatisfaction and anger, he thought about it and decided to let it go. The account's only been active for a few days. Even with all the comments, it has very few followers. It's just childish fun. I'll just let them play. Other soundbirds like to practice controlling sound waves, but my Chuchchi has loved to sing since it was little. With that thought, he relented with a sigh. You have a talent and a passion, and planning to use it effectively is a good thing. At this moment, Lin Yuan had no idea what kind of legend Dreamy Finch Chime would become in the streaming world. Hearing his approval, the two little devils were overjoyed, high-fiving in celebration. Lin Yuan agreed. He then carefully reminded the little ones of the rules. But I absolutely cannot accept an improper reward. From now on, 500 federal coins is the upper limit. And another thing, change my career path. At least switch it to voice acting. What's the point of having good looks? Hearing this, the two of them grew even more excited, flying straight back to their room and soaring into the air. Lin Yuan couldn't help but smile at their simple joy. It's true that kids stop listening once they grow up. Back at the spirit pool, Mobius had also seen what just happened. He rubbed his chin and commented with amusement. Those two little ones of yours are quite interesting. But Lin Yuan was in no mood for jokes. He pouted and shot the other a frustrated glance. Let's not talk about those two for now. Right now, I'm stressing over how I'm supposed to level you up. The concentration of spirit chi in this space has already hit its bottleneck, but it still can't keep up with the amount I consume when I'm evolving spirit creatures. He analyzed the vicious cycle with a heavy heart. The prerequisite for leveling you up is to evolve other spirit creatures so they can level up. Even though I can speed up this process by converting spirit chi, it's limited by my own spirit chi professional rank. The overall effect is ultimately limited. To speed up the process, I need to raise your level. It's a complete dead-end loop. Hearing this, Mobius proposed a simple solution. If it's that costly, then just stop pursuing high quality. Problem solved. Lin Yuan immediately shot that down, his eyes filled with absolute resolve. No way. Only by raising a spirit creature's quality can its full potential be unleashed. I want every single spirit creature to be sold for its true value. After that, He turned away, mentally calculating the things he needed to buy. To evolve the dragon spirit-sucking goldfish, I need at least 3 drops of dragon beast blood. To raise the 100 questions lily to legendary quality, I need a portion of suzerain soil, 2 redwood cores, 1 liter of herbal spring water. Anyway, I should call Miss Han first and ask. No sooner said than done, he quickly contacted her. Chu Jia-sin, on the other end, answered promptly. Hello? The moment she heard the list of items he mentioned, she got so excited she ripped off her face mask and shot right up. You need the blood of a dragon beast? That stuff isn't cheap. Despite saying that, she was secretly overjoyed. Her judgment of people was spot on. He really was, the high roller who spent 5 radiance coins the moment he walked into the store. She quickly opened her computer to look up the prices. Look, the blood of a gold rank dragon beast costs 80 radiance coins per drop. The blood of a platinum rank dragon beast costs 2,000 radiance coins per drop. If you want to buy a lot, I can give you a small discount, and I can guarantee it won't be diluted. Noticing the dead silence on the other end, she thought he had run off and quickly asked, Are you still there? Little did she know, Lin Yuan was so shocked he was crying silently, covering his mouth to swallow his despair. I can't afford it. I really can't afford it. How can it be so expensive? Pushing past his embarrassment, he quickly added something to save face. Miss Han, I just wanted to ask first. Also, I'd like to place an order for 2,000 kilograms of low-grade energy stones, and 3 common-grade spirit-sucking goldfish will be fine. The other end quickly agreed to his request. Easy. Easy. Chu Jia-sin hung up, thinking to herself, at this insane rate of purchasing, at the latest, he'll need dragon beast blood the next time he comes. I'd better prepare the stock quickly. I've really found myself a good client. 2 hours later, Mobius looked at the goldfish swimming freely in the pool and couldn't help but exclaim, that was some fast delivery. Lin Yuan looked at the spiders before him and also let out a sigh of relief. These 5 web-spraying spiders have finally been upgraded to epic quality, but of all the money I've earned these past few days, I only have 0.4 radiance coins left, and more than half of the spirit chi in this space has been used up. As he released a few butterfly shellfish into the pool, he spoke with a random, philosophical tone. It would be nice if life had a few carefree moments like these goldfish. The moment he finished speaking, the goldfish in the pool seemed to get agitated, viciously lunging at each other to fight for the food. He wondered in confusion, what's wrong with them? Weren't they all living together in the same pool? The spirit evolution pool is only getting bigger, not smaller. So why are they fighting? Mobius, who was beside him, shattered his naive thoughts with a harsh dose of reality. Because you're too naive. It's natural selection, survival of the fittest. Evolution is the most creative energy that nature bestows upon living beings, and no creature, no matter what kind, will easily share its own spirit chi with another, even if they were former comrades. Unexpectedly, after hearing this, Lin Yuan nodded and came to a conclusion. So that's why the strong get stronger, while it's hard for the weak to rise up. Mobius continued his explanation. You're finally getting it. However, nature is also very balanced. The stronger an individual becomes, the more they must understand coexistence and order. My mind settle should be able to temporarily suppress the aggressive nature of the dragon spirit-sucking goldfish. After all, if nothing unexpected happens, the other 3 will also evolve to the elite grade in 5 days, he said, holding out his hand as if waiting for an agreement. Hearing this, Lam Vien felt a bit more at ease and casually walked over to the ore box. All right, I'll have to trouble you then. I'll provide some more ore. He looked down at his phone again and couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. No way. The elite-grade bronze silkworms sold out that fast? Mobius also peeked over, curious. Didn't we just finish upgrading those web-weaving spiders? We can just restock them. He quickly made a decision. That's right. It's time to deliver to soy sauce-soaked egg. I'm heading out. As he approached his virtual showroom, he heard a loud argument coming from inside. Old man, are you crazy? Isn't the shop already sold out? How can they still be arguing so loudly? Inside, a man and a woman were in a heated verbal battle. The red-haired girl was loudly shouting down her opponent. I saw you were a monk, so I let you order first, but then you bought up my entire stock. Her opponent was a young monk, who replied gently with his hands clasped respectfully, but his words were full of provocation. Amitabha, Amitabha. The Buddha teaches that one must not steal. The AI staff in the back were also peeking curiously, but couldn't do anything as they weren't programmed to handle this situation. The girl lost her cool, lunged forward, grabbed him by the collar, and yelled, "To hell with what the Buddha teaches. I helped you, and you still scold me. If you've got the guts, let's meet in person." See if I don't cut off your precious jewels." Just then, Lam Vien burst in like a god, throwing out several of his spirit beasts to restore order. No arguing allowed. If you want to argue, take it outside. A series of high-level spirit beasts appeared all at once, and the pressure they radiated instantly silenced the atmosphere. The moment the girl saw them, her eyes lit up like car headlights. The monk was also endlessly astonished by the web-weaving spiders, completely forgetting about their head-splitting argument. The Buddha says, "Could this be the work of a 2-star creator?" The girl leaned in for a closer look, finding it even more unbelievable. No way. Could they be epic grade? Lam Vien, knowing their intentions, immediately stepped in to crush their hopes. "These are all custom-made spirit beasts. They're not for sale." Both of them instantly changed their focus, rushing towards him like crazed fans meeting their idol. "What are the conditions for a custom order?" He waved his hands dismissively, flustered. "I'm not taking any more custom orders this month. You'll have to wait until at least next month for that." The two of them shot fiery glances at each other, then simultaneously demanded, "Are there any elite-grade bronze silkworms left?" Lam Vien, having lost his initial domineering aura, stammered in reply, "I'm really sorry. They're sold out. Besides, I won't be selling elite-grade bronze silkworms anymore." He quickly pitched his new products, but in the future, the shop will be selling bronze-tier silkworms and elite-grade spirit-absorbing goldfish. Pre-orders are welcome. Hearing this, the red-haired girl immediately shouted to claim a spot. "I'll pay 5 radiance dollars to pre-order a bronze-tier silkworm. Put me down for one, you hear?" The monk, not to be outdone, immediately countered with a calm voice. "Then I'll pay 8 radiance dollars to pre-order the spirit-absorbing goldfish. Don't you dare try to take it from me." The Buddha helps those with whom he has an affinity. Watching them fight over the items, Lam Vien quickly assessed the situation. It seems these two are veteran buyers willing to spend big. I've just saved myself the time of researching market prices. To stop them from making more noise and getting in the way, he snapped in a low voice, "Keep arguing, and you'll both be blacklisted from the shop immediately." Hearing that, they both looked at each other, made a shushing gesture, and mentally told themselves to suppress their anger. Only then did Lam Vien put a hand to his forehead and wipe his sweat, sighing to himself, "So incredibly frustrating, yet so damn addicting. Looks like I need to set some shop rules quickly and post them somewhere obvious." Seeing there was nothing else, the old monk turned and called out before disappearing, "Then I shall await good news from benefactor Lam. This humble monk will take his leave." Noticing the red-haired girl hadn't left, Lam Vien turned back and asked, "Is there something else I can help you with? I really don't have any more spirit beasts for sale right now." The female customer gave a rare, friendly smile and replied softly, "About that, can you heal spirit beasts?" Lam Vien exclaimed in surprise, "What's wrong?" The girl's voice grew heavy. "It's a spirit beast, whose very essence has been damaged. It's critically injured." The previous customer had left, but the remaining woman still hesitated to leave. Lam Vien looked up, a hint of curiosity in his eyes. "Is there something else?" "I really don't have any more spirit beasts to sell." The girl opposite him gave a forced smile and answered hesitantly, Do you offer healing services for spirit beasts here?" He turned back, indicating he wanted to hear more. "Oh, please, tell me the details." "It's a spirit beast with a damaged core, and its injuries are very severe." Hearing this, his brows furrowed slightly as he mused. "Severely injured, you say? If it's silver grade or lower, I can give it a try." A powerful glimmer of hope flashed in the woman's eyes. Her daughter's spirit beast finally had a chance to be saved. Meanwhile, Lam Vien stood rooted to the spot, a look of utter astonishment on his face. Surprising. Wait, her daughter? She clearly looks to be around my age. To clarify its condition, she quickly displayed the spirit creature's information on a virtual screen. "This is my daughter's bronze-grade spirit creature. While training near a spatial rift, its root system was scorched by a horned demon." Hearing this name, Lin Yuan couldn't help but be startled. A horned demon. The image of the ferocious beast immediately flashed in his mind. Moreover, this was a type of horned demon that possessed flames with a withering property. For a plant-type spirit creature, this effect was nothing short of a fatal blow. No wonder its very essence was damaged. The woman bowed deeply, her voice trembling with emotion. "I really can't thank you enough. How much is the fee? I don't have enough money on me right now, but I'll definitely gather it all by next month." Seeing her anxiousness, Lin Yuan quickly waved his hand to reassure her. He already had a plan in mind. "It's all right. It's all right. Don't worry. I don't have any free time this month anyway. Just bring the injured spirit creature here next month. As for the fee, I won't take money. Just find this for me instead." He quickly operated his device, and the screen immediately displayed an image of a specific material. The woman stared at it, stunned. "Just restoration soil? In that case, I'm getting a great deal. After exchanging contact information, her expression brightened considerably. You can rest assured, I will definitely find it for you. Lin Yuan scratched his head, his face a mix of surprise and joy. Really? That's great. If you can't find it, we can just renegotiate the treatment fee then. He thought to himself, I didn't expect this parent to be so well connected that she could even find restoration soil. Things were starting to go smoothly. The issue with the materials was as good as solved. Herbal spring water can be bought if you're willing to spend big. But as for the redwood core, will I have to wait for the True Treasure Pavilion's auction to get a chance? He shook his head, dismissing the stray thought. The urgent matter at hand was to deliver the batch of silk-spitting spiders to Yun Zhongxi. He immediately sent a message. The goods are ready. Come quickly. Whoosh! In the blink of an eye, the young girl's figure appeared. Her eyes widened as she stared at him. Mister, are you using a hack? It's only been a few days and you've already gotten 5 epic grade ones? Lin Yuan was left speechless. The girl paid him no mind, her full attention fixed on the 5 silk-spitting spiders, her face filled with amazement. This is incredible. Don't you worry, mister. I've got insane luck. I'll definitely get some transparent spider silk out of them. Lin Yuan stood behind her, arms crossed, his tone somewhat serious. So, are you satisfied with the goods? So I can send them over. The girl grinned brightly, replying casually, totally satisfied. Send them over, mister. I can't wait anymore. Suddenly, Lin Yuan smirked teasingly. One of those silk-spitting spiders has a deadly poison skill. You'd better be careful with your hair. Hearing that, the girl immediately took off her yellow bee-themed hat, revealing freshly sprouted, very short hair. She retorted defensively, it's not like I got stung on purpose. Besides, my hair is growing back already. After saying that, she put her hat back on and turned away coldly, ignoring him completely. The money's been transferred. Goodbye. Seeing the notification that his account balance had increased by 10 splendor coins, Lin Yuan shook his head in confusion, his eyes following her retreating figure. Why does this kid get so prickly at the slightest thing? But anyway, he finally had some capital. It was time to start expanding production immediately. Very quickly, a new production process was established. While expanding his scale and actively earning money, Lin Yuan also took the opportunity to absorb new knowledge. Lying on his bed, he scrolled through his phone, unable to hide the smile on his lips. The spirit-absorbing butterfly-tail goldfish are selling really well. I need to order a few more batches. Just then, Clever's voice rang out, interrupting his train of thought. Lin Yuan turned his head and asked in alarm, Clever, what's wrong with your eyes? Did you ruin your eyes from studying too much? Clever tilted its head, its tail forming a question mark, and replied innocently, that's not it. It's just that there are a few concepts I don't quite understand. What is the so-called complexity in the evolution of spirit creatures? He walked over and gently stroked the little cat's head. Complexity? What, specifically? Clever scratched its ear with a forepaw, a thoughtful look on its face. It's about how a spirit creature's evolution doesn't have just a single objective, like strengthening its own survival or combat abilities. But if that's the case, how does a spirit creature maintain its existence during the evolutionary process? That is indeed a difficult problem. Lin Yuan stood up, rubbing his chin in deep thought. Such an abstract theory is really hard to explain. It needs a more practical example. He led Clever to the spirit plant cultivation area, pointing to a potted plant. He asked, Clever, you know what a green creeper is, right? Clever replied instantly, of course I do. Yin Yin eats it every day. With his hands in his pockets, Lin Yuan began to guide the conversation. So, if you wanted to ensure its survival, which evolutionary path would you choose? Clever answered slyly. If it were me, I'd probably get rid of all my leaves so I don't get eaten, and then I'd have to evolve to be poisonous. That way, no one would accidentally eat me. Lin Yuan looked at his cat with a helpless expression, unable to stop himself from laughing. So you're planning to evolve into a poisonous cactus, huh? Genius continued to ramble on enthusiastically. I'd also need to have really good endurance. Then I wouldn't need to be watered every day. This kind of thinking was just wrong. He needed to correct its mindset right away. Lin Yuan wagged his finger, smiling brightly. Thinking in that direction is completely, utterly wrong. Genius's big, round eyes widened, and it leaped up in protest. Wrong? How can that be? The path I chose is the most optimal for survival. To prove his point, he took out another potted plant and introduced it solemnly. This is its evolved state. The bronze-grade Than La left Genius stunned. Hey, why doesn't it look anything like what I said? Lin Yuan plucked a leaf and put it in his mouth to taste it. A fresh, juicy flavor immediately spread, and the taste wasn't bad either. Could it be that this plant actually wants to be eaten? He gave Genius a thumbs up, nodding in approval. You guessed right. The Thon Law's evolutionary path is like a declaration to all other Fays that I can produce food. And it's delicious, too. Therefore, you all must take care of me, treat me well, and nurture me with all your heart. By doing this, it secures a firm foothold in the world of Fays. After hearing this, Genius's ears drooped, and it stared at the pot of Thon Law, deep in thought. If it were me, I'd rather evolve to be really unappetizing. The worse, the better. Understanding its naive thoughts, Lin Yuan put his hands on his hips and gave a weary smile, then changed the subject. Hey Genius, studying for too long and trying to force it won't help you learn anything. Let's go out for a walk to clear our heads. Hearing about going out, Yin Yin immediately appeared, chirping, I want to go too. And so, the three of them strolled together through the city, glittering with nightlights. Perched on Lin Yuan's head, Yin Yin relaxed and breathed in the fresh air. Wow, it feels like it's been forever since we left the house. Lin Yuan smiled and explained, that's because we've been cooped up inside for too long. We've been doing all our shopping online lately. In a nearby plaza, a large screen was broadcasting the news. We now welcome the City Lord. The image of the majestic City Lord Ling Xiao appeared on the screen. The Creation Master Guild of the Radiance Federation is about to reform the Creation Master Certification Exam. Anyone who completes the 1-star Creation Master exam within 2 hours will be exempt from the promotion exams for 2 lifestyle professions, and will be allowed to directly test for 2-star Creation Master. Hearing this news, the three of them couldn't hide their excitement. Genius was the first to speak. So that means, Lin Yuan nodded firmly. That's right. I can aim directly for 2-star now. I have to seize this opportunity, no matter what. Finally, Yin Yin spoke, her voice full of determination. I'll do everything I can to help you. But their joy was short-lived, as another news report broke. Next, we have news concerning the Federation. According to the Federation's investigation, the spatial rifts will enter a period of high activity in half a year. A beast tide is about to descend. The Radiance Federation will shift to a state of combat readiness. We advise all Federation citizens to prepare themselves mentally. There is no need to panic. Suddenly, Lin Yuan's gaze froze as he saw the image of 2 people in distinctive uniforms on the screen. The broadcast continued. The Federation will mobilize the Spirit Guard during the period of high spatial rift activity to assist in fighting back the beast tide. The name Spirit Guard was like a knife reopening an old wound, dragging Lin Yuan back to the painful memory of a stormy night years ago. Mommy, Daddy, where are you two going? Little Yuan, take good care of little C at home, okay? Mom and Dad have to go out for something. When you two wake up tomorrow morning, we'll be back. Little Yuan, I'm so sorry. Your parents, big brother, where are Mom and Dad? They're not coming back. Wah. Daddy, Mommy, from now on, I'll take care of you, my sister. The memory ended with the image of 2 blood-stained emblems resting forlornly in his hand. Back in the present, Lin Yuan was startled back to his senses when he felt Yin Yin repeatedly pecking him gently. Don't scare us like that. Genius even bit his leg to get his attention. Lin Yuan. What's wrong with you? Lin Yuan quickly pulled them both into his arms, patting them comfortingly. I'm fine. Let's go home. Although he said that, doubt and a dull ache still crept into his heart. So that was the emblem of the Spirit Guard. Night quickly enveloped the small house. When everyone else was sound asleep, Lin Yuan sat alone in front of his computer, beginning to search for classified information. Rows upon rows of documents and data appeared before his eyes, and then, a horrifying truth was gradually revealed. Just as I thought. The spatial rift disaster 10 years ago in the suburbs of Xia District was directly related to the Spirit Guard. An urgent Federation news bulletin appeared, covered in red text. Federation Express. Urgent news. A dungeon-type spatial rift has suddenly appeared in Xia District. A beast tide is threatening the safety of the inner city. At approximately 3 o'clock this morning, the surface of the industrial zone in northern Xia District cracked open, unleashing a massive number of subterranean creatures. According to the Spirit Guard's preliminary investigation, this was an abnormal opening of a dungeon-type spatial rift that had been dormant within the geological layer. Currently, the authorities are organizing a blockade. As of this report, over 100,000 low-level subterranean creatures, including needle-scaled rats and rotten rock worms, have attacked the city's defense line. The vanguard of the Genling Division has brought equipment such as beast-taming bells and Genling towers to the scene and has begun interception. The danger is escalating. Monitoring equipment has detected a high-level energy source deep within the fissure. At 7 a.m. this morning, a level 4 aberrant beast, the swamp worm, broke through the formation and charged out. Its powerful acid breath and sonic attacks have left 30 defense team members critically injured. The Genling Division's Wind and Thunder Squad is currently giving their all to encircle and eliminate it. Worse still, at 3 p.m., the fissure began to tremble again. A level 5 aberrant beast, the Bone Rot Junter, has appeared. This insectoid creature is covered in a bone armor shell, has a projectile-spraying tail, and upon near death, it will release a corrosive bone corrosion curse energy. Excerpt from the pathology report of the former captain of the Genling Division. Currently, the blockade and extermination efforts are proceeding simultaneously. As of the latest update at 8 p.m., the Bone Rot Junter has been critically wounded, but the aftershocks continue to acidify the land around the battlefield. The Genling Division reports that there have been no fatalities in this incident so far, but 120 members are critically injured and 53 are missing. The operation to seal the spatial fissure has been initiated. It is expected to be completed within 72 hours. Our station will continue to provide updates on the situation. Reading this, Lin Yuan was startled. He realized the name was very familiar, as if Mobius had scanned information about it not long ago. The Bone Rot Junter. He shot up from his chair, his gaze turning sharp and cold. Lin Yuan gazed thoughtfully out the window, silently making his own judgment. The Bone Corrosion Curse is a self-sacrificial skill that the Bone Rot Junter can only activate by offering its own life when pushed into a corner. In that moment, the image of the uncle who had always cared for him and his sibling suddenly flooded his mind. Uncle Lee. After all these years, I never knew. So, you two were also members of the Genling Division where the other two badges are kept, right? The scattered pieces in his mind began to connect, forming a tight chain of reasoning with no gaps. To the south, a sea of churning lava. To the north, a land of eternal ice. To the west, a barren, desolate desert. And to the east, a sprawling, deadly swamp. The Federation's badge exists precariously in the narrow gap between these treacherous lands. Countless powerful spirit beasts are active day and night within and around the territory, and the Genling Division, the silent guardians of the Federation's badge, are the steel shield responsible for handling spirit beast disasters and repelling aberrant beast invasions. A bitter sorrow welled up, choking his chest. Mom, Dad, you two also worked in such a dangerous position? Why did you never mention it to me? Unconsciously, his fingers flipped over the blood-stained badge. He squinted. It seemed to be engraved with the numbers 2837. Is this Mom and Dad's internal identification number in the Genling Division? Holding this crucial number, Lin Yuan decided to search for it again. His hands flew across the keyboard, typing in the sequence of numbers with the hope of finding some clue. But unfortunately, the screen immediately flashed a glaring red with a notification. Danger signal. Access denied. Lin Yuan frowned, a little annoyed. What's this about? Although he was a bit confused at first, he quickly guessed the reason. He stood up and carefully placed the badge back in its box. Have I hit a clearance level limit? Searching for classified information online was, as expected, never easy or reliable. Unfortunately, Aunt Zhang had gone with Uncle Lee to the hospital for a checkup, so she wasn't home for him to ask. Back in bed, Lin Yuan tossed and turned, unable to sleep as countless questions swirled in his mind. He forced himself to piece everything together. They were my parents' old friends, so they must know something. Based on Uncle Lee's old injuries, he must have been through that tragic event back then. He might even be a former member of the Genling Division. Knock, knock, knock. His train of thought was abruptly cut off by the sound of knocking in the dead of night. Instantly, Lin Yuan shot up, his entire body on high alert. It's so late. Could it be Aunt and Uncle Zhang returning? But his reason quickly dismissed that theory. No, Aunt Zhang wouldn't knock so politely. He walked towards the door, analyzing the situation in more detail. Chuchchi is busy preparing for the 100 Prodigies tournament, so she can't be back. And even if she were, she would have called ahead. And any partners related to the StarNet shop always contact me by phone, so, late at night, who could it possibly be? Suddenly, his footsteps halted. Knock, knock. A powerful sense of unease washed over him. The rhythm of the knocking had changed. Could it be that the person outside has changed too? The worst-case scenario flashed through his mind. His ability to evolve spirit beasts had been exposed, and someone had come to his door to kidnap him. Sensing their master's tension, his two spirit beasts also awoke and appeared right beside him. Yin Yin covered her mouth with a wing, letting out a big yawn and asking quietly, Lin Yuan, who is it this late? Kong Ming rubbed his eyes and made a naive guess. Did you steal someone's business deal? Lin Yuan shot him a sideways glance and whispered back, Don't be ridiculous. I only have a meager supply. How could I possibly steal anyone's business? Despite his tough words, Lin Yuan was already on high alert. He pointed at Yin Yin and gave a decisive order. Yin Yin, When I open the door, if I take a step back, I want you to unleash turbulence and sonic thorn on whatever comes through. Yin Yin immediately raised its wing in a military salute, ready for battle. Once the instructions were given, Lin Yuan took a deep breath, slowly cracked the door open, and asked cautiously, "Excuse me, who are you looking for?" At the door stood two strangers, a man and a woman, dressed in official attire. The middle-aged man gave a kind, reassuring smile. "Don't be nervous. May I ask, are you the son of Lin Jian and Chu Yan?" Lin Yuan's heart pounded. A wave of anxiety washed over him as they mentioned his parents' exact names, but he forced himself to stay calm and confirm. "You knew my parents?" To prove her identity, the woman beside the man held up a familiar golden badge and replied, "Yes, I'm sure you understand now that you've seen this, right? I can't believe you've grown up so much." Lin Yuan let out a sigh of relief, and the demeanor of the two visitors became more serious. "We're from the Spirit Suppression Division. I'm Su Jin, you can call me Auntie Su, and this is Tong Hai." Uncle Tong continued, his sharp eyes fixed on him. "A little while ago, did you access the Spirit Suppression Division's internal database? That's how we located you." Lin Yuan was still frowning, but inside, it all clicked into place. "So, that's what happened. What about my parents?" Without making him wait, Uncle Tong, his expression heavy with emotion, held out an old piece of cloth stained with dried blood. His voice grew somber. "It's a long story. The battle back then ended in chaos, and on top of that, most of the Spirit Suppression Division members at the time concealed their identities during missions. As a result, there have always been some unresolved issues with headquarters logistics. We're sorry, kid, we're late." Lin Yuan could no longer keep his composure. With trembling hands, he took the cloth and unfolded it. On it were a few hastily scrawled lines, messy but filled with love. "Little Yuan, my boy, I hope your and your sister's path ahead is always smooth and easy." After reading those words, he hung his head low, trying to stifle a sob, but his vision blurred as tears welled up in his eyes. "This is my mother's handwriting." Seeing the young man overcome with emotion, Uncle Tong looked up and sighed, slowly explaining, "Missions involving the Spirit Suppression Division are extremely dangerous, so your Auntie Zhang and Uncle Li always kept this from you, quietly watching over you and your sister. Please don't blame them." How could Lin Yuan not understand their good intentions? He forced a smile, wiped the tears from his cheeks, and replied calmly, "Auntie Su, I understand. I don't blame them at all. It's thanks to Auntie Zhang and Uncle Li that my sister and I were able to grow up so safely." Tong Hai placed a large, warm hand on his shoulder, comfortingly. "From now on, Uncle Tong will have your back. If you ever need anything, just come find me." Noticing her colleague was getting a bit sidetracked, Auntie Su cleared her throat to remind him. "Ahem." Uncle Tong immediately got the hint and quickly reached inside his coat. "I almost forgot about this." He took out a carefully preserved box. "This was obtained in exchange for all of your parents' merits, and only after old Zhang and the others petitioned for it time and time again." Lin Yuan's eyes fixed on the object in his hand, and he asked, "What is this?" As soon as he took the box, he opened it. Inside was a crystal that glowed with an extraordinary sparkle. Auntie Su immediately explained, "This is an origin seed." Lin Yuan looked up at Auntie Su in confusion. "An origin seed? What's that?" Like a patient teacher, Auntie Su began to seriously explain this new concept to him. Spatial rifts don't just spew out tides of exotic beasts. They also produce various treasures. These are called origin items. Only when its origin item is removed can a rift be closed. This origin seed is the specific origin item capable of closing a level 2 spatial rift. Uncle Tong watched him intently observing the box and added with a smile, "This particular origin seed is very suitable for you. I heard from old Li that you had an incident when you were young that left your body weak. Contracting a spirit creature would drain a lot of your strength, but an origin seed only needs to be nurtured with fresh blood. It consumes no mental power or spiritual energy whatsoever." "That sounds incredible." Lin Yuan held the crystal up, his eyes glued to it as he wondered about its potential. "Nurture it?" Seeing his curiosity, Auntie Su cheerfully explained further. "That's right. This origin seed can be nurtured into a spirit creature. Its abilities and evolutionary path can be completely customized depending on how you raise it. Since your health is already poor, I'd advise you to raise it into a healing-type spirit creature. That would be a great help for conditioning your body in the future." Hearing this, Lin Yuan clenched his fist, feeling the warmth of the origin seed in his palm. A whole new world of possibilities opened up in his mind as fresh ideas began to form. A healing type? That actually aligns perfectly with my current affinity. But if I only focus on healing, it'll be hard to get the capital to settle down and start a life. I have to get some combat power, just like the Calamity Phoenix butterfly. Besides that origin seed, both Auntie Sue and Uncle Dong took out identical orange cards, smiling kindly. Also, this is a Central Federation bank card. There are 100 brilliance coins inside. Consider it a personal gift from me to you, nephew. Just think of it as long overdue compensation for the past 10 years. Little Yuan, I have something for you too. Raising an origin seed and paying for your sister's education is expensive. You absolutely must not skimp. Consider the extra as interest from the past 10 years. However, Lin Yuan knew he could support himself now, so he raised his hand to refuse. No, Auntie Sue, Uncle Dong, I can't accept this money. His other hand gently pushed open the door that was previously just ajar, his gaze resolute. Besides, I'm fine now, and I've even gained 2 wonderful relatives. Clever jumped out and scrambled onto his head, while the tiny Yin flew around happily in front of him. But Uncle Dong was insistent. Little Yuan, Uncle Dong has lived 20 years longer than you. Let me give you some sincere advice. He stacked the 2 cards together and pushed them directly into the boy's hand. I don't care how you see it, I only care how I see it. Listen to me, take it. While Uncle Dong was talking, Auntie Sue was quietly observing Lin Yuan's 2 beasts. She analyzed them thoughtfully. It seems Little Yuan's body has only just recovered. That, 100 questions. Beast and that Yin are probably only at the elite rank. His stronger peers are already at the bronze rank or higher. The kid is still lacking too much real combat experience. After a moment of thought, Auntie Sue made a decision and interrupted Uncle Dong. That's right, Little Yuan. Would you like to learn more about your parents' work? Just as he picked up his phone to make a call, Uncle Dong heard this and was stunned, turning to look at Auntie Sue. Little Sue, are you trying to rush things? Auntie Sue continued with a serious expression. In the lower district, there's a level 1 spatial rift that connects to the insect world. If you're interested, I can take you to see the Spirit Suppression Division in action. Of course, even though it's only level 1, it's not entirely without risk. If you think it's too dangerous, then forget it. However, Lin Yuan wanted this more than anything. He raised his fist, showing his determination. I'll go. You 2 elders probably know a little about my past situation. I've missed out on so much of this world. Now that I have such a good opportunity, how could I possibly pass it up? But he kept his next words to himself, his mood changing completely. Within the next half year, the spatial rifts will become unstable. A beast tide is about to hit. Planning ahead is the best strategy. Hearing his decisive answer, Auntie Sue was very pleased. She put her hands on her hips and praised him. You've got guts. She thought to herself, Little Lin, Little Chu, your son is truly a good seed. Walking around behind Auntie Sue, Uncle Dong finally had a chance to speak, his face full of worry. Little Sue, maybe we should be a bit more cautious about this? But before he could finish, Auntie Sue cut him off with an elbow jab. Cut the crap. You'll clear out the aberrant insects later, and I'll protect Little Yuan. No problem. Auntie Sue immediately activated her spiritual power, summoning her own beast. It appeared majestically in the air, forcing the 2 of them to look up. Auntie Sue instructed, Little Yuan, get ready. We're leaving right away. Before going to prepare, as Auntie Sue said, Lin Yuan's eyes suddenly flashed thanks to the effect of Mobius. A giant snow owl landed on the ground, and its information immediately appeared. Spirit beast name, Cotton Feather Snow Owl. Species, avian, solidified, snow type. Rank, platinum, level 8 out of 10. Element, wind and ice. Quality, perfect. Skill, feather assault. Flaps its wings at extreme speed, simultaneously firing sharp feathers from its sides. Feather shield, uses the dense down on its body to defend against damage. Rending snow feathers. Fires, feathers, carrying a cold aura, which can condense into ice for a wide area attack. Ground snowslide. A torrent of extreme cold creates an avalanche on the ground, attacking, burying, and freezing enemies and allies alike. Aegis of Snow. Summons the power of extreme cold to condense hard ice for comprehensive protection of multiple targets and increases resistance to ice and snow. Unique trait. Extreme Cold. Increases affinity with ice, causing its ice element skills to carry a rapid freeze effect. Looking at its entire body, Lin Yuan couldn't help but marvel. Just a casual summon and it's already platinum rank, and it even has 5 skills. It seems to be a defense-oriented spirit beast. As expected of someone from the Spirit Suppression Division. It wasn't just him, his 2 spirit beasts were just as surprised. The tiny Yin flew closer, her eyes full of longing. Lin Yuan, that big bird is so strong. Can I become as strong as it someday? He smiled gently to encourage her. Of course. I'll do my best to raise you to be just like that. Clever also chimed in excitedly. Wow, that's awesome. I want to go. He had promised Clever last time when he left it at home. Lin Yuan turned to Uncle Dong for his opinion. Uncle Dong, can I bring these two little ones with me? How could anyone refuse those eyes? Uncle Dong scratched his head and let out an indulgent sigh. Go on, then. I'll be your bodyguard. All right. Once he got the okay, Lin Yuan mentally prepared himself. Very quickly, the whole group was settled on the back of the cotton-feathered snow owl and began to depart. Clever sprawled out comfortably with a proud look on its face. Finally, it got to ride on a big bird. Yin Yin playfully hopped back and forth. This feels amazing, just like swan feathers. Hearing that, Lin Yuan was a bit surprised and turned to ask quietly, You know what swan feathers feel like? Under the bright, clear moonlight. Yin Yin's honest reply completely floored him. Of course not. But in my imagination, this is what swan feathers feel like. Time passed, and now, before them, was a giant spatial rift, surrounded by a sturdy protective barrier and a dense security force. Uncle Dong pointed forward. This is the spatial rift. As soon as they landed, 3 soldiers immediately approached, holding up their hands to signal them to stop. The leader spoke in a stern voice. Restricted area ahead. Unauthorized personnel are prohibited. The established rules must be followed. This was standard procedure. Uncle Dong stepped forward, held out a golden badge, and announced clearly, Dong Hai of the Spirit Suppression Division requests entry into the restricted area of the spatial rift to lead a team for a basic cleanup operation. After confirming his identity, the soldier immediately snapped to attention and saluted. Identity confirmed. No discrepancies. I wish Master Dong a successful mission. With the formalities complete, a flash of white light burst through the spatial rift. In an instant, the cotton-feathered snow owl had brought everyone into a completely unfamiliar environment. Uncle Dong carefully gave Lin Yuan another warning to be vigilant. We are now within the spatial rift. From time to time, a few alien bugs will fall down. That's also why there are so many guards stationed here. Amidst the fantastically vibrant, rainbow-colored space, Lin Yuan replied, I'll be careful. However, their caution was met with countless chaotic sounds echoing from all around. Clever and Yin Yin huddled fearfully in Lin Yuan's arms. Clever couldn't stop trembling. Hearing these noises, Lin Yuan also felt helpless as he tried to calm them both, but his instincts screamed that danger was near. Suddenly, a strange creature charged from behind at a terrifying speed. He exclaimed, Not good. I was told everyone's safety would be guaranteed. Uncle Dong instantly flashed to his side, channeling his entire body's spirit energy to unleash a thunderous punch. The monster's body was instantly crushed to pieces. Witnessing this, Lin Yuan couldn't help but be horrified, thinking he crushed an alien bug with a single punch just by using his body's spiritual aura. This is the true power of someone from the Spirit Suppression Division. Seeing his stunned expression, Auntie Sue smiled gently to comfort him. No need to be so tense, little Yuan. Don't mind that so many alien bugs are pouring out. Most of them are just elite grade. There are hardly any bronze grade ones, but Lin Yuan was screaming internally, Elite grade is already super dangerous for me. Uncle Dong puffed out his chest confidently, showing off his bulging muscles. That's right, little Yuan. For a small scene like this, I'll go on ahead by myself. After speaking, he waved his hand, and a burst of purple spirit energy erupted, summoning a wolf-like spirit beast that shot forward. In a flash, its mighty paws hit the ground, shaking the entire space. The appearance of a living creature immediately attracted the attention of the swarm of aberrant beasts. They swarmed in, surrounding it. Looking down from above, Lin Yuan was confused. Uncle Dong, isn't this just giving those alien bugs exactly what they want? Noticing his nephew's concern, Uncle Dong squinted and smiled while doing some warm-up stretches. Don't be so hasty, little Yuan. A good performance needs a little prep time. With that, he waved his hand and gave a decisive command. Time to hunt, wolf pack. Instantly, the tamed beast threw its head back and roared to the sky, continuously creating pitch-black wolf phantoms identical to itself, launching a wide-area attack. Detailed information immediately appeared before Lin Yuan's eyes thanks to Mobius. Spirit beast name, Shadow Terror Wolf. Species, Fanged Terror Wolf. Level, Platinum, 10 out of 10. Dark type, Epic quality. Skill, Bite. Uses its fangs to tear prey apart while also inflicting piercing damage. Claw Strike. Uses sharp claws to slash at enemies while also ripping the target's flesh. Terror Roar. Emits a terrifying roar to suppress enemies, reducing their defensive capabilities. Shadow Wave. Fires a highly destructive shadow wave from its mouth to deal damage in a small area. Myriad Wolf Shadow. splits its own energy to create wolf phantoms of a lower level than the original. The number of phantoms depends on the energy allocated. Unique trait, energy absorption, rapidly absorbs the energy of prey during a hunt to restore itself. Lin Yuan stared intently at Uncle Dong's tamed beast, his heart filled with admiration. This Shadow Terror Wolf has been raised exceptionally well. Its unique trait, combined with its skills, is perfectly suited for prolonged battles that require high burst damage. Just seeing this battle has made the whole trip worthwhile. The pack of shadow wolves swept through, tearing all the aberrant beasts to shreds, leaving no creature alive. After finishing the job, Uncle Dong turned and winked at him. See? Easy peasy. Not dangerous at all. However, at that moment, Lin Yuan sensed something. An unusual fluctuation from Yin Yin. He asked worriedly, "What's wrong, Yin Yin?" Yin Yin narrowed its eyes, focusing in another direction. Its hearing ability pushed to the absolute limit. "Something's watching us." The moment the words left its mouth, a beast with bloodshot eyes locked onto the cotton-plumed snow kestrel in the sky. It was a crow, but it had the form of a skeleton, covered in tattered feathers, and the spiritual aura around it fluctuated with an incredibly eerie energy. But Lin Yuan still hadn't noticed. He was still immersed in his excitement, thinking this trip would be a breeze. Kong Kong hugged him tightly, sighing in relief. "That's great." But Yin Yin wasn't convinced. It kept its eyes glued to the distant darkness, and then suddenly darted out of his reach. "Lin Yuan, be careful. I have a bad feeling about this." He watched it go, stunned, and yelled, "Yin Yin, don't go over there." And then, the harsh reality hit him like a bucket of cold water. There was nothing strange up ahead, but where were Auntie Sue and Uncle Dong? Danger. Absolute danger. A chill ran down Lin Yuan's spine. No, this is wrong. This is an illusion. The cotton-plumed snow kestrel beneath his feet had vanished. In its place was a hideous skeletal beast, and he was sitting precariously right on its back. Up ahead, Uncle Dong and Auntie Sue were still maintaining their formation. The two of them were intently observing the spatial rift, and quickly exchanged a few words. Tonight, everything seemed strangely silent. However, their instincts told them not to let their guard down. It felt like something was lurking in the darkness. Around them, the density of strange flying creatures began to increase. Uncle Dong clicked his tongue and grumbled. "Little Sue, you just had to jinx it, didn't you?" Not wanting to argue with him, Auntie Sue remained focused, using her spiritual power to control the cotton-plumed snow kestrel's flight path. Without turning back, she gave a caring reminder. "Little Yuan, hold on tight. This is nothing. Don't worry. Your auntie and uncle are here." Its spiritual power erupted. The cotton-plumed snow kestrel immediately folded its wings, switching to an attack stance. Snowflakes manifested from energy quickly condensed into solid form, freezing the entire swarm of aberrant creatures surrounding them into solid blocks of ice. Watching the blocks of ice fall one by one, Uncle Dong casually put his hands in his pockets, silently assessing the situation. This was probably the most dangerous moment they'd faced so far. But a moment later, Auntie Sue suddenly realized something was wrong. She turned to Uncle Dong, her eyes filled with worry. "Something's not right. Little Yuan has been quiet for a while now. Go check on him, quickly." Leaving his watch post, Uncle Dong approached Lin Yuan. He placed a hand on the young man's shoulder, did a quick check, and then made his assessment. "His complexion and breathing are both normal. He's fine. You're probably just flying so smoothly that little Yuan fell asleep." Suddenly, the space around them transformed. The giant crow vanished into nothingness, replaced by a sudden feeling of weightlessness that sent them all reeling. Kong Kong clung tightly to Lin Yuan's clothes, screaming in panic, "Lin Yuan, we're falling. What's going on?" Yin Yin, which had already flown some distance away, immediately turned back. In that critical moment, it decided to use its own body as an anchor. "Quick, grab onto me." Reacting on instinct, Lin Yuan reached out and grabbed Yin Yin's tiny tail. Miraculously, that tiny body was able to slow the fall of both him and Kong Kong. Kong Kong's big, round cat eyes looked down into the deep abyss, its whole body shrinking in fear. "Yin Yin, you have to hold on." Yin Yin flapped its wings continuously, replying in a confident voice. "Of course, but I can't." Despite trying its best, its small body truly couldn't bear the weight of the whole group. Yin Yin was dragged down, flipped upside down, and their falling speed returned to what it was before. Kong Kong, having no wings, could only flail its forelegs wildly in the air, its fur standing on end. The landing was rather tragicomic. Kong Kong landed head first, while Lin Yuan was fortunately unharmed. He blinked his eyes open, an extreme sense of doubt rising within him. This didn't feel like falling from a great height, but more as if the ground itself had actively risen up to meet him. To fall from this height and be completely unharmed. Could it be that the enemy doesn't want to kill me yet? His surprise didn't end there, as a voice rang out, seemingly reading his thoughts. You guessed right. You creatures from outside the rift possess land and resources. Meanwhile, we have to tear each other apart for a mere scrap of energy, shedding rivers of blood. Lin Yuan quickly wiped away a drop of sweat and looked toward the source of the voice. It was the very same crow that Yin Yin had warned him about earlier. It stared at him intently, continuing to provoke him. Let's make a bet. See if you can see through me. If I win, you'll have to stay here. He frowned, locking his gaze on his opponent, and exclaimed in surprise, You're an aberrant too? And you can talk? The crow seemed to pay no mind to his words. It swung its jet black wings, summoning 2 black wolves out of the void. It growled, Enough talk. You people open your mouths and call us aberrants. By what right do you get to enjoy peace and prosperity outside the rift? The pack of wolves received their command, bared their fangs and claws, and charged straight at Lin Yuan. Instantly, Yin Yin appeared in front of him, activating its turbulent skill. Countless sharp wind blades sank deep into the lead wolf. Thong Min also regained his composure, and they quickly formed a perfect coordinated formation. Yin Yin shouted without holding back, In your dreams. As long as we're here, you won't get a single step closer to Lin Yuan. Thong Min flicked his tail, his face looking more dangerous than ever. That's right. Besides, we've got a big bird on our side. And a huge wolf. Sounds pretty impressive. Suddenly, strange purple circles appeared on the crow's forehead. It cackled with glee, summoning illusions of Auntie Sue and Uncle Dong, but in the terrifying form of zombies. Is that so? Then are the bird and wolf you speak of the spirit beasts of these two? The hypnotic eye technique activated instantly, distorting the perception of Yin Yin and Thong Min. Now, let's see who the real dissonant species trapped in a fantasy is. Both spirit beasts, controlled by the illusion, were mercilessly trampled by 7 black wolves. However, even in their agony, they looked toward Lin Yuan with utmost concern. I'm at my limit. Lin Yuan, you have to run. But how could such a pathetic struggle possibly trouble Lin Yuan? He raised his fist, and the Mobius bracelet on his wrist flared with a brilliant light. The mind stabilization skill activated, and a golden spiritual energy spread out, jolting both spirit beasts back to their senses. Thong Min looked down at his paws, asking in confusion, What just happened? Why did they disappear? After the continuous attacks and transformations, Lin Yuan had accurately analyzed the situation. He smiled confidently and concluded, Because this is an illusionary realm. I'm not wrong, am I? Auntie Sue and Uncle Dong aren't here. It's not that they disappeared because of you, it's that you can't pull them in here. Information about the opponent immediately appeared as the Mobius scanned it. Spirit beast name, 3 Crossings Crowmaster. Species, Corvidae. Order, Passeriformes. Rank, Elite Level 2. System, Mental. Skill, Illusory Dream Eye. By staring at an enemy, it can pull the target into a low-dimensional illusionary realm, causing the enemy to see their most terrifying fears to break their will. It is only effective on spirit beasts of a lower rank than itself. The 3 Crossings Crowmaster couldn't help but be stunned that its ability was exposed by a mere human brat. It was as if all its secrets were seen through by those eyes. However, the pride of a predator would not allow it to back down. It flapped its wings and arrogantly declared, I never thought a human brat like you could see through my ability. In that case, you can just die here. The 3 Crossings Crowmaster expanded its spiritual energy, channeling purple energy into the remaining wolf. Lin Yuan and his 2 beasts stood watching. Thong Min quickly asked, Lin Yuan, is this also an illusion? Yin Yin shook her head, sensing the imminent danger. It's too real. Even though it's our opponent, the 3 Crossings Crowmaster has already given us the answer. In this realm, it times is times real. Lin Yuan looked at the crow, which had turned jet black, and the wolf, which was splitting into multiple shadow clones. He couldn't help but marvel. This move is the real deal. It has almost perfectly copied Uncle Dong's spirit beast's technique. Taking a deep breath to calm himself, he gave a serious command. Yin Yin. Use turbulence to attack their legs. Thong Min. Seize the opportunity to strike the weak points on their faces. After all, they're just illusory clones. They must be weaker than the original. Following the instructions, Thong Min nodded decisively. Got it. Yin Yin spread her wings, her eyes narrowing sharply as she unleashed streams of turbulence aimed straight at the ground and the wolves' legs. At the same time, Thong Min closed in, lunging straight for the opponent's face with his sharp claws. I won't miss this chance. But just as the attack was about to land, Thong Min froze, his eyes widening in shock. The target's face was shielded by purple spiritual energy, completely unharmed. Cold sweat broke out on Lin Yuan's forehead. He looked directly at the Three Crossings Crowmaster and made a proposition. Even so, considering your rank, you dissonant species have no chance of winning. Fighting like this is pointless. Hearing those words, the Three Crossings Crowmaster sneered, its confidence soaring. Pointless? You are humans and spirit beasts, while I am a dissonant species. Why does our battle need any meaning? The energy in its body surged, and its size changed dramatically. You won't escape today. From now on, you will become my puppets and my toys. Lin Yuan realized his perception of the opponent had changed. The spirit beast's rank was now bronze. He was horrified. It ranked up, inside an illusionary realm. Having just completed its evolution, the Three Crossings Crowmaster shot past at a terrifying speed, leaving a deep gash on Lin Yuan's body, causing him to lose his balance and fall. The prime progenitor, crystal stone in his pocket, fell out as well. The crow began to spout its twisted philosophy of survival. Only combat brings satisfaction. Destruction is the beginning of fairness, and slaughter will bring everything back into balance. By what right do you creatures get to enjoy fresh air and delicious food, while we have to slaughter each other in spatial rifts just to struggle for a chance to live? Seizing the opportunity while Lin Yuan was defenseless, the pack of wolves frantically lunged in to bite and tear at him. The fresh blood from his wounds flowed out, and was unexpectedly absorbed completely by the progenitor crystal lying on the ground. On the other side, his comrades were also in a dire situation. Yin Yin's wing was bitten, and she blamed herself in agony. If only I had a little stronger. Tongming was getting trampled mercilessly, but still tried to crawl back to its master. Lin Yuan, the three-tailed crow lord, has landed on a high cliff, coldly watching the pack of wolves tear apart their prey, continuing its philosophical song, "Survival only brings suffering. Destruction is the only path to eternity." However, it had greatly underestimated its opponent's potential. Golden spirit power from the Mobius ring suddenly erupted, spreading throughout the entire space. The crow, stunned, gaped and exclaimed, "What the hell is this?" Lin Yuan was now floating in mid-air, with the faint silhouette of a giant white monster behind him. The three-tailed crow lord realized the truth in shock. This can't be. That's a source seed, and yet he's standing on the opposite side from us. Lin Yuan recalled Yin Yin and Tongming to his side, ready to display his true power. It seems your ability is to strengthen spirit creatures within an environment, but we can use that ability too. Tongming, Yin Yin, aim for its weak spot and deliver the final blow. From their physical forms, both spirit creatures immediately transformed into giant spiritual bodies. Tongming whipped its two tails fiercely, its eyes sharp and cold. I figured it out a long time ago. Its weak point is its beak. With Yin Yin pointing out the location, Tongming used flash and charged straight at the target. The three-tailed crow lord's proud beak was pierced, its body shattered, losing its connection. Before completely fading away, it left behind a peculiar purple symbol, along with resigned last words. "In the end, you still won. I actually thought my destiny was about to change." Watching his enemy vanish, Lin Yuan learned a harsh lesson. Is this a slaughter rune? Is the true nature of these alien insects just slaughter? Then, our only choice is to keep fighting endlessly, isn't it? Just as the battle ended, Lin Yuan was shaken awake by Uncle Dong. "Little Yuan, wake up. We have to go back now. That flock of crows earlier didn't scare you, did it?" Lin Yuan snapped out of it, trying to act normal. "No, not at all." Uncle Dong just chuckled. Meanwhile, Tongming, having just woken up, was already drooling, its dazed look completely betraying its name. Yin Yin, next to it, seemed much more composed. I wonder if Uncle Dong realized that Lin Yuan had just been through a life-or-death battle in an illusion. But the important thing was that everyone was safe. Uncle Dong turned and called out to Auntie Sue up front. "See? I told you little Yuan was tired. He didn't want to make things difficult for everyone." Auntie Sue smiled and replied, "All right then, let's head back." The slumbering feather snow eagle changed direction, heading straight for the spatial rift to return. Lin Yuan couldn't hold back his curiosity and quickly asked, "Uncle Dong, if I want to get stronger, where should I go to train?" Uncle Dong answered confidently, "The Star Tower." Of course, it's an excellent place for combat training. The whole group departed, leaving the desolate battlefield behind them, and the lonely corpse of a black crow. Returning home, while the night still blanketed the sky, Lin Yuan placed Tongming and Yin Yin on the bed, and carefully tucked them in. As for himself, he still had something important to do. He prepared a pot filled with spirit stones, and carefully placed the green source seed on top. Stroking his chin thoughtfully, Lin Yuan recalled the images from the illusion. and came to a conclusion. Back in the illusion, the source seed only started to transform after it absorbed my blood. Was that scene its evolved form? So, the way to form a contract with it really is through blood. Huh? This trip was truly fruitful. To verify what Auntie Sue and Uncle Dong had said, he took out a small knife and decisively sliced a line across his palm. He clenched his fist, letting the warm blood flow down into the pot, his voice filled with determination. Screw it. I'll risk it. This has to be an attack-type spirit creature. The fresh blood drenched the source seed, and it immediately sprouted, growing at a dizzying speed. Lin Yuan jumped in alarm. It's absorbing it so fast. But it didn't stop there. A piercing, craving voice echoed in his mind. More, more, more. I still want more. Don't stop. Lin Yuan's face turned pale. He quickly covered his ears and lamented. Well, our minds are definitely connected now, but this craving is a bottomless pit. He felt his strength being drained more and more, his body no longer under his control. No, this is bad. Being tormented by this thing, he had no way out. Fortunately, he had prepared beforehand. The special healing pot was ready. Lin Yuan channeled his golden spirit power into his other hand and transferred it over. Lu, I'm counting on you. Help me slow down the blood loss a little. After a struggle, the source seed finally transformed into a plant that looked just like a rose. Lin Yuan breathed a sigh of relief. Phew, it's finally done. I can't believe it took so much blood. While using green spirit power to heal his wound, he muttered his analysis. But if it's a pure plant type, I wish it had a mouth like a carnivorous plant, just like in the illusion. Before he could finish his sentence, the potted plant suddenly broke into a cute smile, with two sparkling eyes beneath it. Lin Yuan was utterly astonished. It really worked? He beamed, clapping in admiration. Awesome. This is just my type. From now on, I'll call you Hongxi. Seeing that it had a mouth, he tried offering it a carrot, but Hongxi puffed out its cheeks and turned away in disdain. He nodded in understanding. You don't like carrots, huh? He switched to a spirit stone. So, how about this? This time was no different. It bared its fangs and refused outright. Lin Yuan looked at his own pale face in the mirror and groaned helplessly. Don't tell me you want to drink blood again? I can't take it anymore. Just then, the door swung open. Genius walked in, rubbing its eyes and asking, Lin Yuan, don't you need to catch up on sleep? Seeing that Genius was awake, he turned and gave a reassuring smile. I'm fine. It was tough on you and Yin Yin yesterday. The ever-perceptive Genius immediately noticed the presence of the new member. It put its paws on its hips and squinted, scrutinizing it. What's this? Is it that huge tree from yesterday? Lin Yuan proudly introduced it. You really are a genius. Its name is Hongxi, and from now on, it's our teammate. Genius was wide awake now, leaping onto the table, its eyes shining with excitement. So, will it be as strong as it was in the illusion? I'm so jealous. Lin Yuan, when will I get stronger? He crossed his arms, gently comforting the little cat. Don't be hasty. You guys are only at the elite grade right now. Once you reach the bronze tier, there will be a huge transformation. Your power will definitely skyrocket. Having been eavesdropping, Yin Yin couldn't hold back any longer and flew out. It chirped. What is it? What is it? I want to hear too. Once everyone was gathered, Lin Yuan put his hands in his pockets and clearly announced his plan. For now, we'll focus on recuperating to help you two break through to the bronze tier. Mobius immediately updated Genius's current stats. Fey grade, elite, 10 out of 10. A week later, Lin Yuan took the group out to the yard. Hongxi was placed in a corner to observe. He raised his hand and signaled, "It's about to start." Yin Yin landed on the ground and looked at him with determination. Don't worry, I'm mentally prepared. Genius also sat up straight, eagerly urging, "Let's begin." Lin Yuan nodded proudly. His hand was covered in abundant spirit power. His body had fully recovered after a week of rest. This can't be delayed. Besides, thanks to nurturing the source-type life form, the purity of my spirit chi is also higher. Reaching the bronze tier shouldn't be a problem. As soon as he finished speaking, a large amount of spherical blue spirit power enveloped Yin Yin, merging with Lin Yuan's golden spirit power. Genius exclaimed in amazement. Whoa! When the process was complete, Yin Yin had completely transformed, becoming many times more beautiful and magnificent. New information appeared. Fey name, Flowing Cloud Azure Bird. Species, Blue Sparrow Family, Winged Bird Genus. Grade, Bronze, 1 out of 10. Sound type, skill, Sound Thorn, shoots 3 sharp spikes made of sound at the target. Turbulent flow, continuously flaps its wings to create a rapid, irregular airflow. Lin Yuan couldn't help but be puzzled by this change. Between the sound bird and the flowing cloud azure bird, there should have been another stage, the songstress bird. Could it be that Yin Yin skipped a stage? The characteristic selection panel appeared. Oily feathers. Secretes oil on its feathers to minimize damage. Clear skies. The bird's song disperses clouds, clearing the sky. Borrow the wind. Reduces stamina consumption during flight by effectively using wind currents. Lin Yuan quickly weighed his options. If we face a wide area attack like in the illusion, reducing damage or increasing mobility could still be easily countered. But if we can change the weather, we can effectively evade or counterattack. He decided to choose clear skies. Genius looked at Yin Yin with an admiring gaze. Yin Yin, you're so beautiful, you don't even look like a soundbird anymore. Yin Yin chirped joyfully. Really? Now I can sing and dance on my live streams. When it was its turn, Genius bounced on the spot, urging impatiently. Quick, quick, quick. It's my turn, it's my turn. Lin Yuan laughed reassuringly. I know. Don't be in such a rush. However, as soon as the spirit chi flowed in, Lin Yuan sensed that something was wrong. He asked worriedly, What's wrong? Are you in a lot of pain, Genius? Despite the pain, Genius resolutely stopped him. No, absolutely do not stop. Understanding the resilient nature of his fae, he frowned and continued to increase the spirit power. Then I'll do it as fast as I can. His mind was filled with confusion. Genius's spirit, chi, was clearly stable, so why was it having such a strange reaction? Suddenly, Genius's nose started to twitch. Wait, Lin Yuan, my nose is suddenly so itchy. Achoo! After a world-shaking sneeze, Genius's entire body glowed brilliantly. Lin Yuan was stunned. Is the evolution finished just like that? Yin Yin quickly brought a mirror in front of her friend. Genius, hurry and look at your changes. Its ears were slightly pointed. Genius stroked the tufts of fur on its ears, marveling. Whoa, it looks like I've become a scholar. Unlike Yin Yin, Genius had some rather unique characteristic choices. Dust aversion. Prevents dust from settling in the areas it passes through. The surrounding environment remains completely dust-free. Materialize. Can transform into an object for the contractor to use. Pain amplification. After attacking a target, the pain the target suffers will be multiplied. Lin Yuan quickly analyzed. Dust aversion counters sand and dust types. Pain amplification increases damage, and materialize is a gamble. Surprisingly, Genius made its own decision. Let's choose materialize. He stared at the cat, asking again to be sure. Are you sure? So decisive? Genius puffed out its chest and replied, Because I'm not a combat-type fae. Choosing the other two wouldn't help much in a fight anyway. Lin Yuan patted its head and laughed helplessly. He knew Genius was lazy when it came to fighting, but he didn't expect it to be even lazier this time. You don't have to be so extreme about it. Flustered from being teased, Clever blushed and wagged its tail non-stop. Needless to say, hurry up and do it. If I materialize into something useless, I'll bite my own tail and end it all. Yin Yin flew around, cheering it on. That's clever for you, always making the smart choice. It was a gamble, but the payoff was huge, like turning a bicycle into a motorcycle. Clever's new stats appeared. Spirit beast name, Heavenly Questioning Beast. Species, of the Spirit Cat family, Ultimate Feline Branch. Rank, Bronze. Tier 1 out of 10. Type, Mental. Skills, Perfect Memory, Knowledge Analysis. Trait, Materialization transforms into an item for its master to use. Lin Yuan nervously activated the skill. A stream of light shot towards his hand, materializing into a pair of glasses. Clever's voice cried out in despair. It's just a pair of glasses? It's over. It's all over. I don't want to live anymore. But Lin Yuan kept his faith. He put on the glasses and immediately felt a difference. He suddenly looked quite the intellectual. You could even call him Professor Lin Yuan. Looking through the lenses, he saw a stream of data appear over Yin Yin, showing her vitality index was at maximum. Not only that, but he could also hear the inner thoughts of his two spirit beasts as they whispered to each other. This evolution is so awesome. I've been craving that pork floss and chestnut bread from the shop on the next street. Along with that came detailed information on the flowing cloud azure bird species, from its habit of living at an altitude of 3,000 meters to its ability to manipulate air currents. He nodded, satisfied. Don't forget to preen Yin Yin's feathers. He was very pleased. You've really been hitting the books these past few days. Suddenly, Lin Yuan's gaze fell upon the potted hibiscus in the corner of the room. A craving voice echoed in his mind. Aberrant insect. Aberrant insect. Aberrant insect. Lin Yuan was startled. Aberrant insects? He realized. Don't tell me. The thing it wants to eat is the corpse of an aberrant insect?